Alright, ladies and gents, as ever, my name is Shane. That's Shane's Games, and tonight we're going to be playing the Shadowrun Hong Kong DLC, Shadows of Hong Kong. This won't be our first time playing it, so if you want to see how we got to where we are tonight, or check out some of the games I've played in the past, be them obscure, unusual, or nostalgic, feel free to check out my YouTube channel. But for tonight, let's go ahead and get into the game, shall we? So we are right at the finale. Our mission to end things went very badly because we got betrayed. So now we have very little in the way of clues, but we're pretty sure where the big bad is, so we're just kind of going to stomp in there and see what happens. Is that a dumb plan? Oh yes! Is it the only one we have that doesn't end with us definitely, absolutely 100% being killed? Yes, it is! So we got some time to catch up with the crew, check our internet messages, and then we're heading out. That is what today looks like. Into the belly of the beast. That's all we got left. Yeah, small chance of survival is better than none. At the end of the day, this is a suicide mission, but like the other options are somehow worse. 6 weeks with no chatters and some determination you got there. It's like honestly, it's what you kind of have to do at the start. Starting a stream is very hard. I have an IRL friend, a member of my board game group, who tried to get into streaming, and he streamed twice, and had no more than 2 chatters at any time, and he rage quit. After 2 streams, he just never did it again. He's like, I hate this, I don't want to do this anymore. And I'm like, I understand, it's frustrating. I do, but that's, you gotta start there. There is nowhere else to start. But I understand the frustration, at least. You know, it's not fun. It's very upsetting. And that's fair too, Rose. You know, it's sometimes things run their course. That's completely fair. And I don't blame you for that at all. You put in some great work. You created some great content. You got nothing to feel bad about. You had an awesome stream. And, like Seinfeld, I think you kind of left it at the top. You know? You just got good behind you. Alright, we haven't actually talked to anybody on this ship so far, so we got a lot of chatting to do here. The constable's attention is locked onto his PDA's display. He inhales through his nose, then speaks. Just because I'm standing here doesn't mean I'm not busy. He shrugs, his tattoos moving with the rise and fall of his shoulders. Say your business. What are you doing here not being a cop? What do I do? You mean like my hobbies? Kind of a strange thing to ask. I guess it might be. I just like to get to know the people I'm working with. He shrugs. Sure. Okay. I paint. Oils, most of the landscapes. Had a few showings in Victoria Harbor coffee shops. Should we change the subject maybe? This is getting a little too personal for my taste. Hey, nice neck tattoo. Were you a ganger before you became a cop? Yeah, got jumped in when I was a kid. My old neighborhood is impossible not to be. I got out when I was a teenager. Turned my life around. When I landed in the HKPF, they put me in my background to good use by sending me in undercover. You're a narc? Yep. Worked undercover for a couple of Kowloon City's nastier street gangs. The Black Butchers and the 444s. Helped to bring him down from the inside. I had to be off that detail. I was good at it, but doing that sort of work takes a toll. So how'd you wind up in this task force? My cover got blown. Barely made it out of the 444 territory alive. Couldn't stay undercover any longer, so they had to find another use for me. When them told me about the task force, I volunteered. Fair enough, fair enough. The key is to find yourself so funny that you don't need anyone to laugh at your jokes. That might be a joke itself, Alchemist Merlin, but that is seriously a skill. Because I mentioned that I came here from radio, because I did a bunch of radio work when I was in college, and I really enjoyed that. And one of the skills you have to learn in radio, and something that carries over to streaming, is the fact that whenever you tell a joke, no one will laugh at it. Because you're in a room by yourself, you have to get used to not getting any feedback for your jokes. And that is so rough. That is one of the most brutal things to have to do on radio or on stream, is to be funny knowing that there is no response to anything funny you say. It takes a lot of practice. We're talking months. It's tough. It's tough. Let's see. Could you guys name a few things that help you soothe the vocal cords? Menthol and eucalyptus. Honey tea is the one I mentioned before. Honey tea is pretty much the most common one I always hear right there. Was it the same board game group member who hates mechs that have hands? Actually, yes, it is the one that hates mechs that has hands. Coincidentally, makeshifted. Good memory right there. Oh, Alchemist Merlin, you did college radio as well? Hell yes. That's awesome. People always told me I should have done radio. I kind of wanted to go into radio, and the only reason I didn't go into radio is because radio is a fucking terrifying thing to get into, because there's very few jobs available in radio. It is so spectacularly difficult to break into. You can get into college and go for years without getting employed. It's horrible. My mom used to date a guy who would do radio, and he told me, hell no, very fickle business. That's why you see the people that get in it basically try to stay with it forever, because once you get in, once that door opens, you need it to stay open forever, or you're never getting back in. Let's see. With an easy smile and relaxed body language, something about this orc seems intrinsically pleasant, despite the myriad guns and swords laying on the table near him. He raises a hand in greeting as you approach. Hey, stranger. Always nice to see a new face out here. Nice to meet you too. You part of the crew? Who, me? No, man. I'm just hanging out here until my next job. I know some of the crew, and it's a good transit hub if you're looking to go places by ship and stay off the official records. Pretty cool place, truth be told. Name's Garrick, by the way. Wandering swordsman at your service. So you're a Ronin or something? Something like that. The more appropriate term in Hong Kong would be Yao Hop, but same difference. Garrick shrugs. You boil it down, I'm a street samurai who happens to be good at the blade. Guns too, but I like swords. Where's your name from? Garrick doesn't sound like a Chinese name. I grew up on the street in Oakland, California, Free State. You know, Orcland? Garrick gestures towards his two tusks, grinning. Non-humans weren't very welcome in San Francisco after Japan began protecting it. Anybody who wasn't highly connected or a normal human got shoved out. I'm sure you run into somebody with an axe to grind against dwarves at some point in your life. Think of that, but make it the law. Now imagine the thugs who are getting in your face think you're a monster that's going to kill their kids. Long story short, they marched us out at gunpoint. Happened right before I was born, but I heard a lot of the stories. What's the Cali Free State like these days? Kind of a pile of crap. San Francisco is all wrapped up by the Japanese megas. Their playground, basically. Los Angeles is an independent city-state. When your biggest claims to power and fame are Sacramento and Ventura, you know you're really scraping the barrel. Nah, I don't miss it. Not one bit. Rose, I think you would make a good radio voice, though. I should say that. While you were partying, I studied the blade. How'd you end up in Hong Kong? Garrick snaps his fingers excitedly. Aha! This ties into my tragic past. A tale of revenge in foreign lands, swords and sorcery, of dead parents and the criminal underworld. You're awfully excited about a terrible event. Oh, what do you expect? Happened when I was a kid, and that was ages ago. I lived in a slum surrounded by gangers and junkies. Objectively speaking, it was probably the best thing that happened to me. Got me out of Oakland. I'd gone to the corner store, and when I got back home, my home was on fire. Mom and Dad had been hacked up by a machete. I don't know why. Maybe a BTL debt. Maybe they just got on the wrong side of one of the local gangs. Long story short, local fixer felt bad and took me in. Started me off as an assistant and moved me up to be his muscle as I got older. That sounds like a familiar story to me. Maybe it might. People like us, we tend to come from the same kind of places. Nobody gives up easy life for a life of crime unless they're seriously screwed up in the head. But it's a better life than begging or being at the bottom of the food chain, yeah? Anyway, once I was old enough, Big Sven, the fixer, hooked me up with Choi Lee Fut Sifu. That was when I got my first street chops. Odd job here and there. I'm not an adept, so I had to scrounge and install whatever ware I could afford. I'm out here because my Sifu figured it's time for me to learn from other masters. I've been visiting monks, triad enforcers, and back alley schools for months now. Are you looking to avenge your parents? I guess, if it comes up, or if I hear something. Seems like the kind of thing I should be honor-bound to do, but it was so damn long ago, I figure I can afford to let it sit a bit longer. Garrick shrugged, spreading his arms helplessly. Maybe that's kind of weird, but I don't want that part of my past to define me. Alright, so how'd you get the whole wandering swordsman thing? Seems a bit melodramatic. I grew up on stories about wandering Zhangzhou swordsmen and other martial artists. I love reading books like The Water Margin, The Deer in the Cauldron, and Journey to the West. There's kind of romance to it that appealed to me, and still does. An outlaw living by their own code, fighting the mighty powers, and living by their own wits? Beats the usual story I knew. Born poor, starve, die poor. Garrick gestures off towards the distance. Most people out there haven't got a shred of hope that things will get any better. When you live like that, it grinds you down. I figured if I can see my life as a modern version of one of those classics, I'll get my spirits up. That's worth more to me than all the Nuyen in the world. See you later, Garrick. I hope you find what you're looking for. Hey, thanks. If it happens, it happens. If not, at least I'll have an interesting trip. That's the thing, really. Be where you are, live when you are. Make sense? Very zen, very zen. I bet he's one of the recruitable characters. He feels like a recruitable character. Let's see. A woman in an armored trench coat hunches over a smoking grill, her assault rifle leaning up against a nearby crate. She prods an assortment of rapidly blackening fish, eel, squid, and other sea life, all the while fixing him with a critical glare. She glances up and squints as you approach. Yeah, dude is a whole vibe. I respect it, though. I respect it. Huh. You're not a prisoner, and you don't look like a pirate. And this sure as hell ain't a standard tourist destination. Welcome to the Benteng, whoever you are. It's the finest pirate barge in at least a 50-mile radius. My name's Max. Who are you? Chastity Blackwell, independent mercenary. I've seen action from Azania to the Transpolar Alouette Nation. But for right now, I'm having a bit of time off with a Loho Joa. Joho Loa, sorry. Nobody shoots at me on the Benteng, and most of the visitors are potential clients. So, why are you cooking all those fish? Because Utama's cooks, if you can call them that, are goddamn atrocious. I've eaten prison food and oodle and batar that tastes better. Word to the wise, unless you want to eat sludge that looks like it was poured from a septic tank, you're gonna have to cook your own meals out here. Trust me, it's worth it. Why doesn't Utama have a better cook? Honestly, I don't know. A good cook could make or break morale. Anybody who's ever served on a ship knows that. I can only assume that Rinaldi is really good at something else. From what I hear, he used to be a targeting officer on a Rebel Hook missile cruiser. Maybe he's the guy that set up the Benteng's defensive parameter. I'm not sure. Still, you'd think that a bunch of damn Filipino and Indonesian pirates stock a half-decent spice cabinet. But no, it's all pre-packaged spice mixes, mostly scrounged from instant noodle packages. I have killed for some Salimbal oilak a month ago, after Rinaldi tried to make some bebek goreng using fast food chili packets that finally let me go ashore for supplies. What do you know about the Joho Loa? Quite a bit. They're pirates, they live around Hong Kong, and Jomo is only slightly crazier than most of them. What else is there to know? Sorry, I assume you're interested in something in particular? How'd they get started? They were Filipino refugees, mostly. Two clans, the Joho and the Loa, resisted the Japanese occupation of the Philippines. Some joined the Hook rebels, but most decided to live the Hakka fishing communities around Hong Kong. Over the years, they intermarried, first with each other, and then with the Chinese, Indonesians, and Malaysians as well. The whole venture is pretty much a family affair. Each ship tends to be run along family lines. The captain is the family elder, backed up by their spouse as first mate. The eldest child, sometimes sibling, is the bosun, and kids are the deckhands. Seems to work out well. Basically just a family business, and the fleets of ships are extended families. Chastity gestures towards the expanse of the Benteng, smiling crookedly. Because of that, they're united, but independent. Take the Benteng, for example. It isn't just Utama's ship. It's her family, her house, her business, and her legacy to pass on to her children. That's part of why they don't like stand-up fights as much as they do hit-and-run jobs. Nobody wants to get their family killed. And where do they operate? They'll go anywhere in the South China Sea. I've heard stories they get as far as Hangzhou sometimes, and make runs down to Darwin if the cargo's right. But in terms of their home base, it's been in Sai Kung for the past 10 years. They're 100% Hong Kong natives, even if some of the locals don't seem to think so. Chastity grins crookedly. Alright, Rose, thank you so much for hanging out. I hope you have a good rest, and we will see you around. I guess it's part of why I like him so much. They're kind of mixed up multinational family that makes the modern world so interesting. Their only nation is their fleet, and their language is a mix-up of Indonesian, Cantonese, Tagalog, Malay, Spanish, and English. They're beholden to no one but themselves. That's an admirable thing in this day and age. Alright, so what's a pirate's life like then? Chastity frowns, glancing at you in a sidelong fashion. Why are you asking me, not Jomo? You know him better than you know me, and I only know what I see from the outside. I mean, I guess that I know more about them than most people. She sighs and shrugs. Okay, well, I guess the first thing to know is it isn't glamorous they make it out to be. Most of the Johor Loa ships are living hand to mouth. They don't have any savings, and they can wind up stranded if something breaks down at sea. Mostly a lot of sailing around, bribing harbor masters to find out what ships are carrying the good stuff, and running off to steal it all. Some pirates show up with big guns. This family would rather do it with a fast hit and run. Sure, they've got big guns, but they'll only use them as a last resort. Ammo costs money, you know. Alright, so how'd you get into cooking? Kidding me? Chastity smirks, folding her arms over her chest. After a minute, her smirk fades. Oh, you're serious. Okay, so basically there are 3 types of mercenaries. She lifts a hand and starts counting off on her fingers. The first type are the ones that work for big outfits like Met 2000, Bright Blade, Tsunami, or whatever. They're not much different from corporate armies in a lot of ways. They get tons of support and finances, so everywhere they go, they build bases with mess halls, barracks, the works. Second, you've got small units that sign up with well-established clients. They don't work for a big PMC, but maybe they got a team of 50 or so. They get contracts with reasonably lucrative clients. A lot of work in Africa from corporations or urban convoy duty in areas that are still a bit iffy. Places like Caracas, Vladivostok, Lagos, whatever. These units rough it a bit more, but they're usually attached to larger groups as extra muscle. Then you've got people like me, true freelancers, cowboys. We fill the gaps in larger units, but we can never tell how big of a group we'll be with. Sometimes a corporation needs some soldiers garrisoned at some mine, and they round up 10 of us, throw us out in the field with nothing but what we've brought with us. Unless you have some kind of unhealthy love for field rations, you learn to cook whatever you've got around, or you make friends with somebody who does. Alright, so why hang out on a boat rather than a safe house? I like boats. I like sailors. Chastity shrugs. I spent a lot of time as hired muscle on everything from drone container ships to small smuggling vessels. Most of those small boats were in the Aegean, though. Quick runs between small islands. Shit, I remember this one time. Chastity suddenly starts snickering to herself. The snicker becomes a chuckle, and the chuckle eventually turns into a roaring laugh as she doubles over, clutching her sides. You alright there? Chastity begins coughing in an effort to catch her breath. Sorry, She gestures excitedly towards the grill with one hand. The fish! Finally pulling herself together, the mercenary stands up and takes a long, deep breath. Wiping a tear from her eye, she launches into a story. Okay, so this one time I was out on a fishing boat, but the skipper was actually running guns and missiles to Bari, right? Not much danger out there aside from other gun runners and pirates, so we're taking it slow. Nice, warm summer cruise. I'd been amusing myself by fishing while I kept watch. I got a tug on my line. I reeled in this amazing gilt-head sea bream. It was beautiful, and a good 10 kilos. She stares off into the distance, shaking her head in disbelief. I knew right then that's what we were having for dinner that night. It's a hell of a big fish. One of the other mercs on the boat was this elf pistol adept. Fastidious guy, liked his fine wine and food. Anyway, he sidles up, asks what I'm going to do with it. What do you think I'm going to do, I say. I'm going to grill it up with some olive oil, lemons, and garlic. You know, standard Greek-style stuff. Well, the elf gets a look like I slapped his mother. He just screws his face up with a sneer and asks what the hell is wrong with me. I ask him how he'd do it. You have to poach a fish like that. Lay down a bed of peel-off rice, zucchini, bell peppers, and onions. You slow cook it slow in foil with a touch of wine. Only a barbarian would grill it, he says to me. Chastity dips her head, grinning. That wasn't something I was prepared to hear. I explained to him that to preserve the fish's natural flavor, grilling was a superior choice. I might have suggested he had delusions of aristocracy. He countered that his method would create a superior flavor profile overall, as well as be a complete meal, and questioned if my mother had been a goat and my father a chimpanzee. That went on until he had his Colt Manhunter's barrel halfway into my mouth and my combat knife was pressing up against his trachea. We would have kept up our argument, too, if the first mate hadn't doused us with a fire hose. How'd you end up cooking it, then? We didn't. When we got blasted by the fire hose, the fish got washed through a scupper and back out into the sea. I think we ended up having Spam and eggs instead. I'll see you around, Chastity. What a hell of an end to the story. Other Real, welcome in. How are you doing today? Hope you're having a good week so far. Cooking fish is serious business. It's one of those foods that I think a lot of people have very, very strong feelings about how to handle it. I'm just now very slowly learning how to cook fish. I still got a long way to go, but I'm learning. I'm starting to learn. It's because badly cooked fish is so bad. It's true. It's true. Like, overcooked fish is kind of disgusting. I've recently learned an air fryer is a very idiot-proof way to cook fish. That's how I usually do it these days. Very nice. This week I'm going to try pan cooking, though, so that'll be new for me. The sergeant takes a long drag on her cigarette before meeting your gaze. She looks preoccupied with something. So, here you are. She closes her eyes and allows the smoke to spill from her lips. When she opens them again, they're on you. What brings you in my corner of the yard, runner? I thought you might be able to help me get my bearings here. Air fryer is so good. I use it constantly now that I have it, Alchemist Merlin. Very nice. Now the shock's worn off, you got questions, huh? She taps her cigarette, spilling ash to the ground. Alright, tell me what you want to know. How'd you wind up with this gig? Things are getting stale back at the office. She grabs her nose and gives it a short rub, sniffs. Actually, they'd been stale for a few years. I needed out. Out of that lifeless recycled air, the constant sound of typing fingers, the suffocating stench of cologne. It looks like she might gag. I could smell my old boss coming from down the hall. You enjoying the change in scenery? It has its ups and downs, and ups and downs, and ups and downs. Took me a while to get past the subtle bobbing and swaying of things near the dock. I used to feel nauseated if I stared at one place for too long. I managed to get past that, but I doubt that I'd last too long out on the water. Still, it's an improvement over the office. I'd rather feel sick outside than sick in a tiny room. What do you do when you're not being a cop? It's hard to clock out once you've gotten your badge. A lot of rookies don't realize that it's a 24/7 lifestyle, and the better you get, the more it engulfs you. Lung taps her cigarette. A small clump of glowing ash hits the ground. It's like a radar that won't turn off, or a sixth sense, or whatever. She rolls the small stick between her fingers. Point is, I don't get any free time. Alright, then what would you do if you did have free time? The sergeant lets out a single short laugh, but looks unamused. She raises her hands in a shrug. I'm doing what I want to be doing. Don't misunderstand that. But if my schedule allowed me a moment or two to myself, I'd do what I assume is the usual. Binge watch some Sims, go out to eat. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I'd have a dog or cat. Yeah, cat. Nope, gerbil. Easier. You don't strike me as a rodent person. Not in general. Their tails disgust me. But gerbils, their tails have hair. That changes everything. He shrugs again. You asked. I appreciate the honesty. Thank you for that. Turatarik, welcome in. Hope you're doing well. One of my worst fish experiences was tuna steak. Was not cooked well and is paired was paired with complementary flavors. God, that is unfortunate. Citrus and herbs and fish in a parchment paper pouch. Steaming a little bit. That does sound nice. I could see that. All right. Let's talk to this guy over here. A bored-looking pirate stands amid a collection of sea mines, spiral-bound and laminated manual in one hand. The cover reads Ares Mark 62 Naval Mine. He's busily thumbing through it, a sour expression on his face. Hey, you need something? The pirate tosses the manual onto the ground near him. What are you working on there? Attaching detonators to these mines. Primary charges are already installed, but nothing's hooked up to the magnetometers. Wouldn't do much good in the water if they didn't explode, you know. The pirate jerks a thumb towards the mine. The only reason that the Bentang and the other ships are safe is we got enough explosives to level a small island. Without them, we'd be fighting off other pirates left and right. Mines are the pirate code for it. Don't even think about it. How come you're on mine prep duty? Simple. I spent 12 years with the British Royal Navy as an explosives ordnance disposal technician. If it explodes, I know how to set it up or get rid of it. I wouldn't trust anyone else out here to handle them, that's for damn sure. Nobody else is trained. How'd you end up being a pirate? Happenstance mostly. You know what being an EOD tech teaches you to do in the real world? Absolutely nothing. Not a lot of call for bomb disposal outside of the police. And after my tour of duty was up in the Navy, I'd had enough of following orders. After 12 years with Her Majesty's salty service, my main aim was to get drunk and forget all about being a sailor. Packed my kit and went out into the world. Ended up in Manila, half dead of alcoholism, and met a local girl named Christina. Got serious, she introduced me to her family. Turns out they were pirates. After we got married, I figured I may as well make myself useful. So, here we are, priming mines. The more things change, the more they stay the same, right? So, do you like it here? Like has nothing to do with it. These pirates are my family, so I gotta stick by them. But, yeah, I guess I do. I'd rather be on a beach with a bottle of whiskey, but I can sail to a beach and we've got whiskey at the hold. Nobody's asking me to get shot at, and we're prosperous enough to feed ourselves. Not a bad life, all things considered. Besides, I don't know how to do anything else aside from set up and disarm explosives. Not exactly a normal job. Would you give it up if you could have a normal life? I don't know. Maybe. Hard to say. It's like this. I've spent so long as a sailor that I don't know what I'd do if I wasn't on a boat surrounded by bombs. Kinda messed up when I say it out loud, but that's the truth of it. Sometimes that's the way it be. This is true. Moving forward in good ways, that's really good to hear, Other Real. Hopefully that is a trend that keeps up. Somebody down here named Triple Alpha. Let's see who that is. A powerfully built woman stands by one of the huge guns, smoking a cigarette. She's carrying a cyber deck and an assault rifle slung alongside it. She has the wide-eyed alertness of someone who's either supernaturally hyper-aware or has a lot of headwear. Her stance is easy and relaxed. It's the posture of someone who's ready to fight or flee at a moment's notice, but who doesn't expect that she'll have to. Oh, my neck popped really hard when I leaned back there. Holy shit. The woman nods at you, taking a drag on her cigarette. You must be Max. Heard about that dust-up at the Tiger's Den. Glad to see you got out alive. Yeah, me too. You work with Utama and her crew? Nah, first time here. I'm just waiting for the rest of my crew to show up. The woman looks you up and down. You look exactly like I thought you would. Heard some stories about that business with Josephine Sang. You can call me Triple Alpha, by the way. Us old runners, we gotta stick together, you know? You stand by your crew, they stand by you, and you can't count on anyone else. She purses her lips, looking around with an annoyed expression. My crew would never freaking get here. Why am I always the first one on the scene anyway? I want to get out of the shadows and onto a beach. You look like you've seen a lot of action yourself. Alpha lets out a rough cackle. Man, you don't know the half of it. You tally up the runs I've been on, I think I've seen more stuff than even Fast Jack. I might not be as old as him, but I think I take jobs a lot more regularly than he does. I've been to Los Angeles and Seattle, Hong Kong and Berlin, and everywhere in between. If it's a weapon, I've fired it. There's a corporation I've run both for it and against us. The woman gestures languidly with her cigarette as she speaks. It's never dull, I'll tell you that. How big of a team do you have? We got a rigger, a mage, and an adept. I guess there's also our jack of all trades, too. She's not really very good at anything, but she's got a lot of heart. Totally unafraid to march alongside us, even if all she can manage is to plink away with that crappy pistol of hers. And then there's me. You can guess what I do. Alpha gestures to the cyberdeck and the assault rifle. That sounds like a solid crew. They're a good bunch. Highly skilled, quiet, we can get along. You can't get asked for more than that. You, staying out of the shadows for good? Alpha shakes her head and stares off into the distance. Yeah, I don't think so. I've been running the shadows for my whole life. It's all I've ever done. I don't know how to do anything else. This is more of a vacation. Break, if you will. I figure we take a break, hit some beaches, taking the sights that are off the beaten path, come back when we're rested. Excuse me. Keep doing the same thing forever, you're bound to burn out. Alpha glances sidelong at you and gives you a little grin. You must get paid quite a lot to be able to take that much time off. She grins and shrugs sheepishly. I don't want to brag, but I'm kind of rolling in money, yeah. It's a little bittersweet, I guess. Not sure how long we're going to be out of the life. It'll be a few years at least. A lot of our gear and cyberware is getting old, and it's harder to keep up with the other runners out there. That kind of upgrade takes time, you know? Not only do you have to track down the new stuff, you have to recuperate and all that. Pretty sure we'll be back, though. And when we are, she makes a low whistle and grins widely. Better watch out, because we'll be top of the line. But what are you going to do once you're out? Aside from hit a nice beach somewhere? I don't know. There's plenty of interesting stuff to see around the world. She takes a drag on her cigarette and ponders the question. I want to see some old ruins. You know, temples, castles, stuff like that. I like history, so I'm always excited when I get to go to older cities like Rome or Athens. Heck, with as much money as I've got, maybe I'll take a trip into space and play tourist there, too. Never been to space before. Hey, you take care of yourself, okay? It's a rough world out there. Nobody's gonna look after you except your crew and yourself. I like your style. Kinda feel like we've seen the same kind of runs. I'll watch your back, okay? She takes a long drag on her cigarette, flicks the butt away before lighting a new one. Always, Alpha. Good man. Never hurts to be careful. She touches 2 fingers to her brow in a wry salute. Good luck. I think we might run into each other again, after I've gotten upgraded and taken a bit of a break. Looking forward to it when it happens. She's really cool. I like her. Hey, Doc Belvin, how are you doing today? Hope you're having a good weekend so far. Back for more gear? If you've got the scratch, I can hook you up. Alright, I'm going to need to buy some res kits for him, I suspect, because I only think I've got 1 or 2 among the team. And I feel like that's probably something I'm going to want before we head out for good. Especially since we're heading to the last mission, and that usually gets super dangerous. Alright, let's head aboard the Kraken. Have a chat with the rest of the crew. Doc Belvin, thank you so much for a 39-month resub. I appreciate all the support. Helps out a lot. It means a lot to me. Thank you for that, and I'm glad to have you with us, too. No, I'm sure it's going to be a milk run. Oh, God, there's the flag set. Now I'm going to die. All right. Well, everything seems to be in more or less in one piece. Did you and Chiu get anything figured out? More to the point, do you know who we're fighting yet? Yeah, we know who we're up against. Crate and her people are being funded by Ares. That's not what I was hoping to hear. Ares is serious business. So what's next? Can't exactly take the fight to them. We aren't equipped for that. Chiu's talking to her corporate contacts. With luck, we can end this thing with a comm call. Somehow I doubt that it'll be that easy, my friend. These things seldom are. But perhaps your PDA buzz is cutting him off. Chiu. Chiu's face flickers onto the PDA's view screen. She looks haggard, even more so than before. The call was a bust, Max. Still got a few execs willing to go to bat for me, but the rest have already written us off as a failure. Nobody's going to risk antagonizing Ares on my say-so. We're going to need a hell of a lot more than 1 misfiled email if we're going to convince them to move on this. Guess we're headed to Tai Po. Yeah, looks that way. She lets out a long sigh. Look, Max, I told you that you and your team would be well compensated for helping me, but I never really specified exactly what that reward would be. I think that you should know. You've got my attention? We'll start with the bad news. I can't put a monetary value on what your team will receive. Truth be told, I'm going to have to wrestle with corporate to get them much of anything. A lot of the cost of renting out the Benteng came out of what was set aside for your reward. Excuse me, what? You'll still get paid, I promise you that. It just won't be enough to retire on. Nothing I can do about it. Just the way it has to be. Gobbet crosses her arms over her chest, a disgusted look on her face. Yeah, I'm sure it is. We never should have trusted. Chiyu's voice cuts in, talking over her. As for you, Max, you're a different story. For you, I've got something better than money. Keep talking. I can get your sin restored. Duncan's too. I can give you your old lives back. Holy shit! That's right. Imagine the doors that'll open for you. You can return to Seattle, pretend that none of this ever happened. Hell, you can do whatever you want. You can do it completely above board. What I'm offering you is the freedom to make your own choices again. Same freedom that Crate and Josephine Sang and Kindly Cheng took away from you. Anyway, I just wanted you to know what's on the line before we headed out to Tai Po. He rubs her eyes, stretches. I'm gonna get my kit ready. I'd recommend that you do the same. Not just yet. I still want to explore the Benteng a bit. She frowns. Okay, Max, do whatever you need to do. Give me a chance to close my eyes for a few minutes, if nothing else. When you're finished, go to Jomo. He'll sneak us into Tai Po and we can finish this. She begins to look away, then seems to think better of it. The camera refocuses on her face. Oh, and Max, your boss's rock, that Kong that you took from Eddie Pang, got broken in the move. I found it in about 50 pieces when we got here. In the wastebasket under my desk if you still want it, but I can't imagine it's worth much anymore. Sorry about that. The video feed crackles and dies. Chiyu's face winks off your PDA and then the display goes dark. Well, this presents us with something of a conundrum, my friend. He takes a drag on his cigarette and slowly releases the smoke through his nostrils. Koshei paws at the ground. If this payment goes through, your Shadowrunning days with the team are over. With a sin, you'd be a liability. You could perhaps remain in Heioi, but you need to find a different line of work. It's a difficult decision. I'll put some thought into it. See that you do. For now, we have a job to prepare for. Kindly Cheng wishes us to complete this task, and so we will, payday or no. This conspiracy could pose a threat to the Yellow Lotus, and we cannot say with certainty whether it does or not until we enter that warehouse at Tai Po. Well, we have other priorities to handle first, but don't worry, we'll head to Tai Po soon enough. The warm glow of a good deed, I definitely would have hung up on her for that. Ooh, hash browns, delicious. And how are you doing today, Rooks? Hope everything is going well with you. Let's start by checking the mission computer. See if we've got any... We do have a message, but it's just a recap of what we did before. Let's check Shadowlands. See if there's any new threads on there. There's 2. First thread, looking for Milk Run. Experienced Decker and a fresh-faced team of runners looking for basic runs. Subcontract your dullest jobs to us. Preferred, no jobs involving experimental stims, secret chem labs, escapes on mopeds, the walled city, underwater pipes, or ferrets, just to be on the safe side. Message me, Shinzen Joe. Oh my god, we've got Joe back again. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got another Shinzen Joe thread. Also, I've got a new Void Juice today to try out. What is this flavor right here? This is watermelon, guava, and lime. Let me give this a good shake first. Yeah, why is no ferrets? Just to be on the safe side. I have questions about that. It's not bad. If anything, it's a little too mild. Not a ton of flavor there. Another job? That does sound very Shadowrun, doesn't it? I really want to know the story behind the moped thing. They actually did explain that in the base game of Shadowrun. They had a plan for this one run where the escape, the big dramatic escape at the end of the run, for some reason had to be done on mopeds. And it turns out that most of his team had no idea how to run mopeds, so they completely failed at their escape. SJ, Wouldn't taking on your dullest jobs make this milk run a bit too, milky? Georgie Corgi. For this team, no. Just this once, and I know this sounds crazy, so hear me out. I want to go on a run where half the team doesn't get riddled with bullets, or dissolved in acid, or fed to a giant meat grinder. Call me crazy, but I think it'd be a nice change of pace. Shinzen Joe. I'm sensing some trauma here. Punisher, welcome in. How are you doing today? Shinzen Joe has lived a bad life. He really has. Hey, SJ, I've got a mission that I could probably throw your way. It requires some discreet sewer dredging below a knight-errant facility. Security should be lax, and the stories about awakened crocodiles down there are probably just urban legends. You guys want in? Blinky Gotcha 23. Yes! Perfect! Georgie Corgi. GC? I don't think our partnership is going to work out. Well, good luck to Shinzen Joe and Georgie Corgi. I sincerely apologize to your family for the news that you have been eaten by an awakened crocodile. You had a good run. You had a good run. Nuddle Masher, welcome in. How are you doing today? Oh, glad to hear you're feeling better, Punisher. That is good. Georgie Corgi has a lot of hope for the future, and that hope is going to die in the mouth of a crocodile, I think. Thread, where's Pinky Swear? Oh, no. Oh, no. Emperor, thank you very much for the gift sub to Turatark. Gift sub number 1,393. Milk Run Bribe. Oh, there's another flag set there. Thank you so much for that, Emperor. I appreciate the heck out of that. Let's see. Hello, Shadows. I'm trying to locate Pinky Swear. Last we heard, our paranoid friend was freaking out over robot ants, but it's been quite some time since we spoke. Truth be told, I'm getting genuinely worried. Any tips welcome, Oxfist. Yeah, about that haiku stalking, Jackie Chan. You got something? Spit it out, Oxfist. Well, it wasn't Jivebot, or Codex, or whatever the Matrix rumor mill seems to believe. Jackie Chan. We have a second Jivebot mention. Jackie. As in with a J. I have a sinking feeling that I know what you're about to tell me, Oxfist. Yeah, it was me. After Pinky and I split up, Pinky never changed the door codes. When I figured that out, I thought I'd just, you know, play a harmless prank. Jackie Chan. You've got a funny definition of harmless. She's probably in the middle of a psychotic break, running through the hills to escape a bunch of imaginary poetry ants. Well, if she's gone, we could raid her apartment. She's got a load of great gear, and she's probably too busy panicking to change the codes. Again, Jackie Chan. Fuck it, count me in, Oxfist. Well, that wasn't where I thought that story was going, but you know what? That is hilarious. No Jivebot, just imaginary poetry ants, which is an amazing turn of phrase. I know, Emperor. I miss our friend Jivebot as well. He was absolutely the best. Yeah, me too. Sentient swarm of Jivebot ants. Rhyming and destroying all who come across their path. That would have been amazing. Yes! Rat Party, that was so good. Racker glances up from his workstation, an eyebrow arching towards upward as he turns to face you. Under the desk, Koche dips its chassis in recognition. Well, my friend, our fortunes have undergone an interesting turn, have they not? I would not have thought to find myself cast out to sea, but here we are. Oh, we get to hang out with pirates. I'll take that over an HKPF task force any day. Indeed. In point of fact, I'm rather enjoying the change of scenery. There is something soothing, almost meditative in watching sea mines bob to the motion of the waves. A relaxed smile spreads across his face. He absent-mindedly fishes a cigarette out of his breast pocket. They're really quite lovely, you know, like enormous sea urchins with shells of rusted iron, pregnant with destructive potential. I'll give you this, Ractor. You have an interesting way of looking at the world. Yes, my friend, I suppose that I do. He snatches a butane torch from the desk, flicks it on, and whisks his cigarette through the flame. A plume of gray smoke curls towards the ceiling. You will forgive me my flights of fancy, I'm sure. Are you enjoying life on the Bentang? He pauses a moment, considering. Truthfully, I rather like it. She's a lovely old vessel and well suited to her role as a floating fortress. And you? How are you enjoying our new, if temporary, home? Well, she's well armed, I'll give her that. As long as she keeps the HKPF at bay, I'm happy to be here. The police wouldn't dare venture anywhere near this ship. What is our life compared to that of a patrol boat and the lives of her crew? He shakes his head. Too much to risk for too little gain. They will not come for us here. So what'd you think of that last run? We have a lead, and we're one step closer to being done with this foolishness. These are positive things, I should think. Lamb's betrayal was aggravating, but not surprising. Only a fool would trust anyone on this task force. They all suckle from the corporate teat. Still, our hit on the Tiger's Den was ultimately positive. And now we've lashed to a pirate ship, enjoying the swell of the waves and the smell of salt in the air. A rather large improvement, by anybody's standards. Now, do you have any other questions, or shall I return to my work? You take care of yourself, Ractor. Let's put swim wings and a jaunty sailor's hat on Koshei. He'd look so cute! He'd be the cutest robot on the ship. Yes, he would. Yes, he would. That's another vote for the positive. I appreciate that. Ganchu is seated cross-legged on the floor of his cabin, his swords unsheathed in front of him. An array of tools rests nearby, and the air is thick with the smell of clove oil. The tools include a stack of small paper squares, several stones, a tiny metal pick, and a high-tech vice grip of some sort. He raises a hand in greeting as you enter. Pardon me if I do not stand, Max. Fine as these swords may be, they require as much maintenance as any other weapon. Burrs to be sanded out, dents to be reformed, etc. The salt air here does the blades no favors. Please, make yourself at home. Koshei is so cute. The fact that he's got a little bit of a personality just is a wonder. Yeah, what's the vice grip for? It is a diamond coating rebonder. Cannot replicate the die coat process that covers the blades, but it can patch spots where the diamond edge coating is worn away or become rough. The materials are rather expensive, as you may guess. Now, what may I do for you? That's it. I'll talk to you later. He did not have much to say. I just love the characters in Hairbrain Schemes games. They make such cool characters, and I just love chatting with them all the time. They are so fun to hang out with. You find Duncan pacing in the small room, his thoughts elsewhere, but his reverie breaks as soon as you approach him. He looks thankful for the distraction. What's up? Hey, what'd you think of that last run? Duncan grits his teeth to the question. Lamb, that fucking traitor. For all the senior inspectors planning and big promises, this task force ended up getting boned just as badly as we usually do by our clients. Leaking information, switching sides, raising the stakes. I know that as runners, it's us versus everybody else, but it's times like this when I really feel it. He opens and closes his hands as if trying to work all the tension out. Yeah, we might have lost our advantage, but that's never stopped us before. Yeah, and it won't stop us now. I need an event. Thanks for listening, Girth. We're balls deep in this now. No way out. I'm ready to change the subject. How about you? Yeah, you take care of yourself, Duncan. Sounds like he's done, Ken, with this business. I think we all are. See how Isabel's doing. Wants to take it on the lamb. You sense a change in the environment immediately upon entering the room. Seconds later, it hits you. It's quiet in here. The usual drone of beeps, hums, and fans is conspicuously absent. Isabel leans up against a steel table, picking up what looks like glass off of a warped circuit board. Her profile is illuminated with a blue-green glow by her glowing screen beside her. She looks up at you with heavy eyes. She speaks and her tone is grave. So, it all comes down to this. It looks like it. You ready? Ready as I'll ever be. Her hand pauses and a piece of glass falls from between her fingers. She hesitates, sets down the circuit board. Try your best not to die, Max. I will if you will. The little Decker rolls her eyes at the comment, but the corner of her mouth lifts into a smile. Yeah, Max. Okay. I can do that. Hey, what'd you think of that last run? Isabel's eyes are cold when she looks at you. A bitterness creeps into her voice when she speaks. We saw it coming. No, we should have seen it coming. Hell, with our luck, it's a wonder that both Lamb and Chiyu didn't turn on us. Sure, we still have the company woman on our side, but things have gotten a lot more complicated. Just for once, I wish we could be one step ahead of our enemies. She shakes her head and tosses her hands up in defeat. Oh well, nothing but old news now. The only thing we can do is learn from it and move on. You gotta believe in the team! Oh god. Still got the noodle machine there. See what Galbit's doing. You enter Galbit's cabin to find her gulping something from a chipped plastic mug. As the mug's contents slosh and churn, a sharp antiseptic note stings her nostrils. She glances up from her drink and locks eyes with you. The pirates make this. I think it's like a kind of whiskey. She frowns at the mug. I don't know what they make it from, but it tastes like salty turpentine. Why are you drinking it? They need a drink. This stuff kicks like a mule. I mean, it's definitely swill, but it's powerful swill. You want some? Thanks, but no thanks. I prefer my turpentine without salt. She shrugs and tosses back the remaining liquid. A few seconds later, a fit of barking coughs shakes her chest, and her eyes begin to water. She rubs at them with her knuckles, gasping for air. Oh, that was a mistake. I'm dizzy. She grimaces, smacking her lips. My tongue feels like I dipped it in furniture wax, and there are crickets chirping in my brain. You, need me to get a medic? I'll be fine. Rat can eat anything, drink anything. It'll make me stronger. She shakes her head to clear it. Now, you weren't here to drink with me, so what do you want? I should be up for a little chit-chat before I keel over. Now, what do you think of the benteng? That tricked-out barge doesn't go anywhere. That makes it a glorified raft. Think back to the last raft we spent a lot of time on. The sinking ship. Think of that, the shit that went down there. Remember the smell of the killing pit? The disease-ridden rat monsters that tried to eat us? That's not the kind of thing you forget, Gobbet. Yeah, well then you already know the answer to your question. Not that I don't appreciate what the pirates are doing for us. Hell, I kind of like some of them. They're a fun group. I just prefer to hang out in dry ground is all. Her knees flex as she adjusts to a sudden sway of the deck, a rogue wave. After it passes, she puts her hands on her hips and focuses on you. Anyway, what about you, Seattle? How are you enjoying the pirate life? It's a temporary fix for a bad situation, but I'm at peace with that. Sounds like we're on the same page, more or less. Let's just try to make it as temporary a fix as possible, eh? I don't want to spend any more time out here than I have to. Anyway, let's talk about something else. Change the subject. Surprise me. I'll just take off. But your brain is full of void instead? Sometimes that can be nice. Can rat consume nude extrude? I would assume that rat partakes of the nude extrude, but they haven't really talked about it much. Alright, I think we're done in here. I want to check my stash before we head out, see if we actually have any res kits on us, but I don't think we do. Got a couple of cheap med kits. Or no, here's the stash. Yeah, we got a bunch of got a whole bunch of med kits, but no res kits. Yeah, we'll probably go pick a couple of those up, see if we can spread those around. Emperor, thank you for 69 months at tier 3. You check your stash, you find a bribe. It is nice. Excellent. Points go upper. Emperor, thank you so much for that. I appreciate the heck out of that. The support, as always, means so very much. And also, even more important than all that, I appreciate having you around, Emperor. You are a wonderful part of this community and just a wonderful person to have around in general. So thank you for that. I hope you liked the alert there as well. I did actually remember to set up something for 69 months. I don't know if anybody caught that, but I did. Alright, so... oh, he doesn't actually sell them. I need to find somebody else to sell me those. Go look around, I guess. That was a beautiful moment. Excellent, excellent. I figured that was a nice fit. Didn't change too much of the vibe, but kept it weird. Kept it weird. Alright, so I think there was somebody in the boat proper that sold medkits. Let's head in there. See if I can buy a few of those. Just over here, I think? I swore I saw somebody selling them last time we were in here. Is this Andre guy? Yes, here we go. I do have a little bit of cash. I can probably sell some stuff if need be. Let's see. I can sell this armor, because I definitely am not going to need that. I can sell Mana Bolt, or I'm going to keep Mana Bolt 3 just in case. I know I say that a lot. I'm going to do it anyway. I could sell its elemental fetish, because I'm not really going to do anything with that. That should be good. Let's sell those. Sample his goods. That one fires at 69 months and only at 69 months. Alright, and let's buy 3 Dock Wagon Premiums. See what we can do with those. I already have one apparently, so I'll just... I'm going to swap out my grenade. Or... oh, that just got put in my inventory. Gotcha. Right, let's confirm that there. And then we'll see if we can spread those around the team for maximum effectiveness once we actually get out in the field. Which I think it is time to go do. I think we are about as ready as we're going to be at this point. So, we'll make one more save, then we'll go talk to Jomo. See about getting out of here. Although I don't actually know where Jomo is. I'll figure that out, I suppose. But either way, save. Right about here. Yeah, I don't actually have a marker. Oh, there's Jomo. Jomo nods at you with a mischievous grin. Things all sorted out? Utama happy? You too? How can Jomo help you today? Let's finish this. Take me to Tai Po to face Crate. Sure, might be a one-way trip. Yeah, let's do this. As usual, we'll be taking Isabel in case we need to hack anything. We'll be taking Rector, because his drone is absolutely the best. And we'll be taking Duncan, because he's just a good, solid source of damage. Let's have fun with this milk run. Stop! Might, he says. Might. Alright. Go ahead and confirm that. Actually, before I do that. Oh no, all the hireable runners were the ones from the base game. Interesting. I don't know who those characters ran into. Were Kickstarter backers, maybe? I don't know. No turning back now. You watch the Benteng drift slowly out of view as the drunken mistake bobs turbulently on dark, choppy waves. Angry rain dimples the water's surface and obscures the world around you in a haze. Before long, the warehouses appear on the horizon, great gray silhouettes looming just beyond the docks. Crate and her people are guarding a warehouse here. You don't know what you're going to find inside, but this is the last lead that you have to follow. If the conspiracy within the SDU is going to be stopped, it has to happen tonight, in that warehouse. Chiyu sits nearby, her fingers pressing into her temples, a sign of her distress, no doubt. But despite her evident discomfort, she still looks present and alert. Tai Po, once a small fishing village, now encrusted with cheap industrial warehouses, grows ever closer. Water whips down from the sky as you bump up against the docks. You've arrived. Oh, please let it be a stealth mission! Oh, God! I would not do well if that was the case. Alright, let's see what everyone is getting. Isabel will do last, because Isabel's squishy, so I don't want her running around very much either. Although Ractor's pretty squishy as well. Isabel actually has better armor than Ractor. I did not realize that. That's super friggin' weird. Alright, I'll give her a res kit then. That's fine. Ractor usually doesn't have that many AP just because he's got his bot out. So that works. And I'll give one res kit to Duncan as well. And then after that, I'll just keep divvying up med kits. Duncan gets the big one because he can probably take the biggest beating. Let's see. Isabel's already got plenty, but let's give her more. Ractor, I'm going to give you 2. Why the heck not? Let's just fill the inventories. Also, we need to give Duncan that better gun we get for him. For some reason, we need to keep putting that there every time. Ares Alpha? Yeah, I believe it's the Ares Alpha. Yep. Is Ractor going to spend 8 full rounds of sleep again? God, I really hope not. That was kind of a nightmare. Let's see. Max, I'm going to give him the stupid shamanic salve. Actually, maybe I might give him the other healing kit. Because my character can definitely take a beating. Let's give Isabel the shamanic salve. We'll give Ractor, I don't know, a grenade, I suppose? Maybe a flashbang in case it comes up somehow. May as well just fill everybody's inventory at this point. And the last health kit. There we go. Alright, we are decked out pretty well. I've got a bunch of grenades, but unfortunately, basically everyone we've been fighting in this game has been using the magnetic arm augment that allows them to throw grenades back. So we haven't been using them at all, unfortunately. Oh my god, Emperor! Alright, I think we're good. I think we are good then. Alright, let's do this. Let's see what we got. Cold rain lashes your face as you take your place on the Tai Po dock. The storm is loud, practically deafening. Periodic thunderclaps roar like distant cannon fire, and the flash of lightning stabs at your eyes. Chiyu stands beside you, bracing herself against the storm. She turns to Captain Jomo, practically shouting to be heard over the howling wind. Jomo! Any chance anyone caught sight of us on the way in? The pirate cups his hands to his mouth and barks out his reply. You insult me! Quate's traitorous pigs were as blind to our approaches! She shouts back, cutting him short. Yes, we've got it, thank you! She pauses a moment over a sudden gust of wind nearly bowls her over. Straightening, she leans towards you. Okay, we already know that the SDU is patrolling the area. There'll probably be an Ares present on site too. We need to be surgical in our approach. Take them from ambush if possible and kill them quickly. That means that we creep ahead, not sprint. And if we spot them, we shoot them before they catch sight of us. Got it? Let's see, don't worry about me. You gonna be alright? I'm as good as I'm gonna be. Head still pounding like a jackhammer, but I'll manage. We've got the element of surprise on our side. On top of that, visibility and comm reception have been shot to shit by the storm. All these things are good for us. Isabel huddles forward, her teeth chattering. We get it. Also, I haven't been able to feel my toes for over an hour now. Can we maybe get started before we all start dropping from hypothermia? Alright, let's do it. She claps you on the shoulder. Her hand feels like ice. Lead on, Max. And remember, when you see hostiles, take them out. If they manage to raise an alarm, you better believe the security personnel will flood into that warehouse, and that is a complication we do not need. I gotcha. So it's not necessarily a stealth mission, but it is a mission where we need to make sure that there's no survivors if we run across anybody. Learn to sleep type, I love it. Basically, when we go loud, we need to go very, very, very loud. Basically, yeah, that's what you're saying there, Emperor. If we run into anybody, we take them out immediately. So we are going to take this nice and slow. And we will ambush if at all possible. I don't like how well lit up this intersection is, but it is what it is. Keep going. Yeah, if no one's left to raise the alarm, that's stealth to me. Right? It's gotta count, I think. Alright, I have no idea how far we have to go. Oh! See a shock trooper up there. Alright. We're officially going loud, ladies and gentlemen. Because if we go loud manually, that means we can get the jump on this guy, and that is 100% what I want here. So, Max. It looks like we don't have a lot of cover here, unfortunately. Well, Max, you are going to take up right here. We're going to cast Wild Aim on Duncan. There we go. And then, unfortunately, I can't even see up there anymore, so I'll have to hold on for a second. Duncan! Oh, I can't get into cover now. Shit. That's not good. Alright, Raptor. I'm going to have you turn Koshe on. And then I'm going to have you overclock Koshe. Let's see if we can end this quickly. And let's also take the risk that he's far enough and just throw a aim on him too. Alright. Koshe is going to advance up to here. I can't see the guy. What the hell? Where'd he go? Okay, he's gonna, there he is. Oh, I see 3 people. That's not great. Alright. So, go for the mage first. Alright, mage is down. That's good. Let's see. Max does not have line of sight there. That is super unfortunate. Duncan, why don't you rush up to here? This is gonna be not ideal. Line of sight blocked there, god damn it. That's not good at all. Let's see, Isabel. God, there's just so little cover here. Isabel, you run up here to help bait grenades, I guess. And we go. Yeah, Max can't even see anybody to cast anything. It really stinks. And then I assume Jomo must survive, so I can't have her do anything too crazy. Just have her roll up to here. If the explosions deafen everyone, that counts as quiet, right? I wish. I wish. Have her throw a deflect on Koshi, I guess. Oh no, line of sight blocked. Alright. Throw a deflect on herself then. And then we will end the turn there, I think. Nice attempt. Alright, nobody's attempting to raise an alarm as far as I can see. That is a... Turns left until alert is sent. Alright, we have 2 turns to end this thing. That is our goal now. Let's see, Max. You are going to... Max still can't see any of them. That's horrible. And there's like no cover anywhere here. Max advance up to here, I guess? Alright, you can see him from there. And then, let's see, 80 HP and 70 HP. You are going to shred armor on this guy. There we go. Let's see, Koshi. There we go. Nice crit on that guy. Initiate murder protocol. Well, it's in black and white. Nothing we can do. Nothing we can do. Alright, that guy's down. That's good. Alright. Let's see. Isabel. Damn it. Even missed an aim shot there. Got a little bit of a hit there. I'll have to do. Duncan. Duncan, I'm going to have you move up here, because if we can end this very quickly, I would like that a lot. Aim shot at that guy. Oh, that was a mistake. I should have just opened fire on him there. Let's see. Have her move up to here. And then she also does not have a great chance to hit with anything. There we go. All right. All right, we took care of that really well. We still appear to have quite a ways to go before we get to the warehouse, though. I am going to make a save here, though, because that seems nice. All right. Black cherry, that sounds nice. Gonna pick up some while it's in stock. Alright, I need to keep moving slow here. See if I spot anybody. I think we're going around the corner here if we can. See anybody yet. And yeah, we're definitely going around the corner here. We did really good getting the jump on that guy, even though that did get a bit scary. I really appreciated how that fight went down. If we could do that again, I will be very thankful. A couple of 2-liters, nice, nice. Ellie Lordswood, so this is what happens in the stream. I don't get to see more awesomeness. I try. How are you doing today, Ellie Lordswood? Hope you're doing well. Ooh, nice, Doc Belvin. Very cool. 4x backstab multiplier? Oh, it's so nice. Unfortunately, as somebody that never stealths, I tend to miss out on that a lot. Alright, I see another guy right there. Oh, we are very far back, but I think it's time we have to initiate again. I think we're right at the door, though. So if we can get through these guys, we should be able to get in. Oh, nice! Congratulations, Ellie Lordswood. What else do you have left to do after that? Alright, can't get up there. That's gonna be great. Alright, Max. Have you throw an aim on Duncan. I hate about everybody, I like that. And then you are gonna run up to here. Alright, what do we got? I see a shock trooper, a combat mage, and another mage. 2 mages, I don't like that, but we'll make it work. Duncan, I'm going to have you run up here to bait grenades. Raptor, you're going to get Koshe turned on. Then you are going to get Koshe overclocked. And then you're going to get Koshe manual focused. As this is a blitzkrieg, we need to end it as quickly as humanly possible so they don't raise the alarm. Alright, so then Koshe, you are going to race up here. Let's see, just 2 practical tests now, but that should take a couple of days given how it works in the UK. Gotcha. Keep us posted. I hope it goes really well for you, and congratulations on the progress. Oh, Doc Belvin, that sounds so tasty. Alright, so it's not showing the health on these guys. That's unfortunate. See what we got here. Let's have her move up to here. Does she have line of sight to any of them from there? Just this guy. If I can hit him with a lightning bolt. Nice! 2 AP damage to everybody. I like that a lot. Alright, we're going to have Isabel move up here for right now because she can't... I guess I can have her... No, let's play it safe and have her moved right there. And I'll have her move up to the barricade next turn. We're going as quickly as meta-humanly possible? Now you're thinking like a Shadowrunner. I like that. I know, Tarek Silver, that bounce makes me so happy. How are you doing today, Tarek Silver? Glad to have you with us. Alright, let's see if we can take this mage out. We can take this mage out. Beautiful, beautiful. And then we'll just do some damage to this guy. Nice, but didn't finish him off, unfortunately. And then we'll end the turn there. You missed! Oh, armor strip, I hate that. Alright, we got 2 turns once again. We can make that work. So I'll have Max throw a chain lightning as well. Very nice, very nice. I'll have Max armor strip this guy. And then fireball this guy. Nice. I'll have Koshe. Perfect. Alright, I think we did it. I think we got to the warehouse without raising the alarm. Let's make another save, but that is a very positive thing. Whew. Let's see, Muluk Day, welcome in. Was watching the Women's Soccer World Cup. How's it going? I know the USA got knocked out, which is unfortunate, of course, but I hope you're having a good time watching. Some exciting matchups, I hope. Some guy in a hat, welcome in. How are you doing today? Hope everything's going good with you. All right, I'm going to take a drink. And then, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to go in. We're at full health. We haven't used any items yet. We're about as good as we can be going in. Australia's still in it. How do you like the Australian team this year? Do you think they got a chance? All right, we've made it. This is the warehouse that Ares hired the SDU to defend. This is where we're going to find our answers. Before we walk through that door, make sure that you're ready for a fight. I'm as ready as you are. Made myself a bacon and mushroom chive omelet for breakfast. Oh, if you can, you must. That sounds amazing. I hope you enjoy it. Hope it's a good start to your day. I had a bad feeling that, and ladies and gentlemen, is we're going to end with that, so we'll leave it to you tonight. No, we're beating the game tonight. I tell you that, Alley Lordswood, we are beating this game tonight. No more putting it off, no more delays. This is happening. Oh God, Rook's Honor, honestly, that would be the best ending possible. Because that would end up with me not getting killed, probably. She squeezes her eyes shut, rubs her temples. More ready than that, I hope. I'm not gonna lie, Max. I'm really hurting over here. I think I'm feeling the delayed after effects of that magical energy I soaked up back at the police station. She swallows, her eyes darting. She looks nervous. Look, I'll do my best to see this through, but if anything should happen... It won't. You're gonna make it. Chiyu nods. I'll do my best. Lead the way. Playing alright, except their star player got an injury. Just playing bits and pieces. Well, I'll keep my fingers crossed for you. If nothing else, I hope you have some fantastic matches to watch. Yeah, this DLC's been really good, Some Guy in a Hat. The writing has been top-notch, and I'm really enjoying the missions as well. I know, the flag's being set there, Kiss. It's killing me. You gonna play Baldur's Gate 3? Definitely, but probably not on stream. Because I usually try and play something that nobody else is playing. Right now, everybody's playing Baldur's Gate 3. Alright, what was the missions we just got? We don't have any missions right now, actually, so I guess we're just fighting dudes. Oh, there's a lot of them. So what do we have? I see an Enforcer, Shock Trooper, Grenadier, Captain, and another Shock Trooper. Alright, this one is going to be a hell of a fight. So let's throw Wild Aim on Duncan. Very nice. Then let's roll up here. I feel like that might block line of sight, but I guess we'll find out. Yep, blocked line of sight. Damn it. All right. Let's see. You are, let's see, Raptor. You go ahead and turn on Koshé. And we're going to need a big start here, so I'm going to assume he's far enough back that he's going to be safe for a little bit. So let's go ahead and overclock Koshé. And then throw a manual targeting on him as well. And then Koshé. We're going to roll up to here. I mean, you never know how long these final missions are going to be, Emperor. You never know. Simple mission, kill them all. I'm trying some grenades. Oh god, no. It's a struggle, and I respect the struggle, at least Some Guy in a Hat, but it's not something I really do. Starfield is coming very soon, most definitely. Duncan is going to roll out alcohol coffee drinks. You gotta try and corner a market somehow, I guess. Alright. There aren't any mages, at least. It's probably a good thing. So, let's go after this shock trooper, then. Give him an AP damage. I like that. Nice! Took down one immediately. I like that. Let's see. Isabel. I don't want her getting too far out. I suspect this is probably going to block Duncan's line of sight, but let's find out. No, alright, he can see from there. That's good, that's good. Duncan, can you beanbag anybody? Yes, beanbag the Grenadier. Alright, he's asleep. That's very good. That's one guy dead, one guy asleep on turn 1. I like that a lot. Jomo. Why don't you roll up to right here and go ahead and throw a deflect 3 on yourself. There we go. And it just leaves figuring out where to put Isabel, and that is tricky. I'm gonna try placing her right here, but I don't think she can see anything. Oh, she can! She actually can. Well, in that case... a few shots at this guy, even though he's not going to be a threat this time. We're going to need to take him out eventually. Successfully baited a grenade. Lovely. That guy, they just continue to miss. There's another grenade baited. Ha! He's asleep! That's lovely. This is going well so far. Alright. Baited! We keep doing it. It keeps being so great. We're doing it, Tarek Silver. We are throwing those grenades back, and it's lovely. Hey, I think you dropped this. Return to sender. Alright, so... let's throw out a chain lightning on these guys. Very nice, very nice. So everybody does have better accuracy, so I don't have to worry about that too much. Except Max somehow? But Max isn't even in a position to do much at the moment. Let's... yeah, just shoot this dude. Nice. Grenadier is down. That is a very good thing. Let's take an aimed shot at this guy. Beautiful. Max, why don't you strip armor on the big guy here? And throw a lightning bolt on this guy. Good deal. And then throw a fireball on this guy. Wow, 59 damage. I'll take that. Yeah, that's fine. We can do that. That guy's down. I like that. Let's reposition him to over here. Tarek Silver, it's such a good song for that. The grenade returns are very silly, but they're very satisfying when they happen too. And they're easy to convince the AI to do, which is very nice. Alright. Duncan, what have you got here? Let's pop this guy out of cover for everybody else. There we go. He no longer gets the benefit of cover, which is awesome. Let's see, Isabel. Why don't you roll up to here? Because we almost got this guy finished here. Damn it. Really hoping that was going to do something. It did not. Let's see, Rector. Roll up over here. That actually hit him, but wasn't enough to kill him. Wow! Went after Rector of all people, but he blocked it. I didn't even know that was a mechanic. Whew! Nice cover you got there. Be a shame if something was to happen to it. Oh, you think you hit the cover? I didn't know that was a mechanic. I honestly didn't. That was amazing. As the sounds of gunfire die down, Chiu's eyes lock on the transplast windows that line the western wall of the room. On the other side of the window sits the most impressive armory you have ever seen. Sinister-looking black and yellow vehicles emblazoned with stylized logos sit parked in front of stacked crates of ordnance. A half-track armed with a battery of surface-to-air missiles dominates the center of the room. These vehicles are military-grade, designed for battlefield use, but the insignia of the Hong Kong Police Force adorns each one. Oh, I don't like anything about that. No, I would like to very much burn this place to the ground. Not just because it would make some nice fireworks. Rector, time to pull out my hidden skills. Yeah, I didn't know him as a mechanic, but he did. That's the important thing. Yeah, let's turn on the gas and make a break for it. Holy shit. Fuck me. That's what Ares is working towards. With enough gear like that, they could stage a coup. In a way, I think that's what they're doing. Look at the insignias on those vehicles, Max. She points to the nearest vehicle, a military APC covered with Ares and HKPF iconography. Knight-errant branded vehicles, Ares regalia on HKPF material, and enough firepower to take out half the buildings in Victoria Harbor. Hell, you do the math. They're planning on taking control of the HKPF. She nods grimly. They're going to try and pull the police contract from Mitsuhama, maybe even merge it with Knight Errant. And when they do, they'll have total control of security in the Free Enterprise Zone. Oh, jeez, that's really not good. So that was the big change that Lamb was working towards, a brand new police force under Ares macro technology. Right, and Ares' first order business was making Mitsuhama look bad so they could swoop in and take the contract for themselves. Months of police brutality, hundreds of people massacred in the Kowloon City riots, all to help Ares win a fucking contract. She blinks agitatedly, the veins in her temples throbbing. They're already this entrenched here. They've gone so far as to rebrand their damned artillery. They must be close to making their move. This enough proof to get Mitsuhama off their asses and into the fight? She nods grimly. More than enough. We'll have to secure the location first. They won't send their own troops up against Ares. Last thing they want is to spark off a corporate war. What are we supposed to do? Clear the place out ourselves? Exactly. If we can secure this warehouse, everybody wins. Mitsuhama gets the evidence it needs to haul Ares before the Executive Council. I get back in corporate's good graces, and you get your sin back. We just need... Chiu abruptly stumbles, clutching her temples. Chiu, are you okay? She shakes her head violently in a vain attempt to clear it. I'll be fine. What's wrong? Everything. I'm seeing double. Can't think straight. She takes another stumbling step forward. I can fight it off. I'll be okay. Just need a second to catch my breath. Without another word, she pitches forward. Her face hits the floor with a dull smack. Great. That's just wonderful. What's wrong with her? Chiu struggles to lift her body off the ground, groaning through clenched teeth. The cords stand out her neck and her temples have flushed nearly purple. She holds herself, trembling like a newborn foal. Let me look at her with astral perception, see what I can see. Her aura is black and blue and partially shredded. She's suffering from the trauma of extreme and sustained a magical drain. Casting another offensive spell right now could kill her. Let's see. Damn it, Chiyu, you should have stayed in the benteng. You aren't well enough to be here. Her mouth falls open, but the sound that comes out is unintelligible. Something between a moan and a whimper. Tears begin to well in the corner of her eyes. Oh, fuck. This is why you never bring, non-members of the team on runs. This is how it always goes. Oh, jeez. Oh no, my illness. It's triggered by dramatic moments. I mean, in fairness, she was casting a lot of spells recently. I was having her cast a lot of spells, so it makes sense that it would aggravate the damage, like they were saying. But we really needed her extra spells for this last fight. A crackle of static from the warehouse's PA system cuts in, drowning Chiyu out. Moments later, a cold voice pours through the speakers. Hello, Mr. Brooks. Hello, Senior Inspector Chu. She spreads her arms, a wry smile on her face. Welcome to the future site of the Toho Harbor Complex. You know, you really should have stayed with your pirate friends. We weren't hurting anyone out there. We probably would have left you alone. It still isn't too late to turn back. Go talk to the orc on the docks, get back into his fancy boat, and never set foot on Free Enterprise Zone territory again. She shrugs. Or don't, and die in this warehouse. Choice is yours. The PA system crackles again, then dies. Chiyu's eyes flutter, then focus. She turns her head to stare at you. Max, listen. I can't help you. Another hit at Drain might kill me. She struggles up to her knees, wincing. I don't even think that I could walk straight right now. Yeah, I'm getting that. You're gonna have to finish this. I'm useless. Just remember what you stand to gain with when this is through. You can win this, with or without me. You have to. This is another one that you owe me, Chiyu. Yeah, sure. Just finish this. Come to me when it's done. We'll radio Mitsuhama, turn this place over to them, and then you get your life back. How do we see her spread her arms through a PA? Actually, that's a good question. We saw the little picture there, but they shouldn't have. That's a little bit weird. Hello, Mr. Girth. We're not so different, you and I. Classic villain speech. Does this mean we ain't getting paid? She needs to survive, because we are getting paid, one way or another. I need to blow my nose real quick. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere, folks. Alright, sorry about that, and worded, congratulations on the all-in, well done. Alright. The only thing left is to deal with crates. Let's make one more save, because that battle went incredibly. Let's save right here. Alright. Time to put crate in a crate. I like it. I like it. Alright, let's get in there. It's 3 out of 10. How about, it looks like we've got a date with crates. That any better? Did I do anything for you? Ooh, there's some dock wagon kits over there. Those are reses. There's a terminal over here. We'll have to figure out what to do with that. And some med packs over here. Alright, that's a little fucking terrifying, but alright. This room seems a little bit scary. There's a terminal over there, too. Alright, there's 4 terminals in here. Not sure what those are for. Can we go for one of them? This terminal has been wired into a large, vaguely sinister-looking device that has been mounted to the warehouse floor. Gold contact plates line the base of the device, and a variety of articulated arms hang idly from its 4 elevated pylons. The terminal's display winks on your approach. Power Dock 1.11A charging/control station. Searching for paired slave device missing or out of range. Alright, so that's missing something to actually activate it. I'm not sure what's going on there. 6 out of 10, I'll take it. Yeah, Tarek, that's a bad sign. That's a bad sign. Crate is soon to be late. Oh, I see some ley lines on the floor. I like that. Whoa! Whoa, no! Whoa, it's so... Oh, God! Oh, no, there's 2 of them! Jesus, those are like some sort of fucking nightmare tachcomas. Oh, God! I'm not even that concerned about the soldiers. What the hell are these guys? Alright. Spider tanks! Lovely. Oh, it's the Spidey police. Alright, Max, you are going to step onto this heavy dragon line. That is going to make Max an absolutely humongous magical powerhouse, which I appreciate. They just want a hug? Not happening. Let's strip this thing's armor. Strip everybody's armor. God, I love ley lines. And then let's hit a lightning bolt. God, I love that! So satisfying. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. The ones in Ghost in the Shell were called touchcomas. I love those things. If they only had clown branding, this could be a Dark Cloud 2 crossover. Perfect. Oh God! All right, all right. Well, let's bait grenades. That's always a good thing. Let's have Duncan run up here. And then can he... He doesn't have really great odds of beanbagging anybody. Oh, he's using the wrong weapon, isn't he? Shit, he's been using the wrong gun this whole time. Alright. That's fine. Switch to the right one here. Alright, let's see, Raptor. You are going to turn on Koshé. Then you are going to overclock Koshé. And then you are going to get the hell behind cover because we can't really play around in this one. Koshé! Where the hell is he going to take up? Over here, maybe? Oh, this place is fucking terrifying. Yeah, let's have him take up over here. Can she hack them or Raptor seize control? Not that I can tell, but I don't know. Alright, let's do some damage to this thing. Now that I stripped its armor. Oh, come on! Sure, Isabel, sorry, you're going on the front lines. Yes! Oh, God! Alright, we took one of them down, though. That's good. That is good. Successfully baited a grenade. That guy's coming in close, because of course he is. Oh, that guy's summoning. I don't like that either. Alright, so Max. Let's go after this guy. Let's strip armor. Beautiful, beautiful. Let's lightning bolt these dudes. That got rid of the summon. I like that. And let's fireball this guy. Let's fireball everybody. That's fine too. It's so nice of them to group up for the bounce. I appreciate that. Alright, Isabel. She really doesn't have a good chance to hit anybody here. Alright, took that guy down. I appreciate that at least. Raptor. Okay, Raptor, why don't you throw an aim on Koshé? And then I'm going to go ahead and put you into Overwatch here. Alright, Koshé, go after this dude. Oh, he's in cover. Can we pop him out? Oh, we still need to take down this guy standing right next to us. I suppose we should probably do that. There we go, he's toast. And then I don't really feel like trying to beanbag anybody, so let's just shoot this guy. Fireball! Fireball! Just fireball! It's a valid strategy. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Oh, missed! Alright, almost did not quite take that guy down. Big guy missed, that's beautiful. Oh, don't heal, you jerk. Oh, son of a bitch. Alright, so now we're doing that. Let's see. So no armor to be stripped, so that's a good thing. Let's go ahead and heal Max, because why not? Heals everybody. Let's go ahead and fireball this dude. 30 damage. And let's hit a lightning bolt on this guy. Took some of his AP at least, that's a good thing. Slow him down a little. You get a heal, you get a heal, everybody gets a heal. Exactly, I'm that way with healing especially, but also magic. There shouldn't be any mages except in my party. Oh my god, 6 mages in Icewind Dale, that's disgusting and I love it. New primary target acquired. Yeah, it's freaking healers, man. Alright, Koshé. Let's see, who can see what? Alright, so Duncan, we're going to start with you. Let's pop this guy's cover. Or let's just kill him, that works too. And then hit the combat mage again. There we go. And then Koshé. From downtown! Beautiful, beautiful. That means all that's left is the big guy now, I think. That's lovely. I like this. I like this. Nice double crit. All right. Alright, and Raptor kind of, sort of has a chance to hit this guy. I'll take it. Damn, that did some damage. Oh, we got reinforcements, because of course we do. Holy shit, from down there? Oh, I'm not ready for dudes coming from down there. Oh god, we're surrounded. Well, oh no. Oh, that's so many. Alright, that's a problem. Alright, first of all, we need to heal Duncan. It's not going to heal everything, but this will be good. There we go. Then let's lightning bolt these assholes. There we go. Good hits. Stole some AP. Some AP. And let's strip their armor as well. Perfect, perfect. Okay. The Raptor, it's incredibly unlikely, but you do any... Oh my god! Raptor hitting with, like, no chance. That's beautiful. Let's see. Isabel, can you finish this guy off? You can! Alright, awesome. That guy's down. I like that. Then Isabel, let's carry that combat mage. For starters. Alright. Koshe is literally right on top of these guys. I don't like that at all. Oh, come on! Alright, the mage is down. That's good. Still got a guard and a shock trooper back there, and I don't like that. Once again, it doesn't look like he has a good chance to beanbag anybody, so that's not gonna work. Let's pop the guard out of cover. Pop him out of cover forever is what I meant to say there. No armor! No armor for any of them! Stripping them down to their undies! It's a valid strategy right there. And that just leaves the shock trooper. I guess let's try and beanbag this grenadier. That'd be nice. We did get him. Nice. Oh god, there's another one? Shit. Oh, come on. Oh, here I thought I was doing good. Now I'm not so sure. Alright, missed. That's good. Oh, oh god, 3 AP damage. I think they just put Koshe to sleep. That's not good. They're going for Raptor! Shit. Relentlessly, that's what I'm afraid of. There's 2 more of them! It's possible there's 4 of them, yeah. Hopefully there's only 4 of them. Oh god. Alright, Max, you need to strip armor on these big guys. Actually, oh god, strip armor on these guys. Fireball this guy. That's a lot of damage. And then lightning bolt these clowns. Damn it, missed! Oh, that's really bad. Isabel. Perfect. Alright, can we just turn Koshe back on? Is that a thing? We can just turn Koshe back on. Kind of. Oh, no, we can't. I thought we could. We cannot. Next turn, maybe. Next turn. In the meantime, what does he get to deal with these idiots? Not much. Not much. We'll leave him for last then. Let's see. Everybody's gonna need to pitch in on this one, I think. These guys, I think, are our biggest threat right now, unfortunately. Being behind us and all. Alright, big guy's down. That's good, that's good. Ractor, I hardly know her. Have you tried turning your deathbot off and on again? My very first priority, I assure you. Oh, damn it. That's another AP damage to the bot. Wow, they're just going straight for him. And now he's on fire, too. Thank you for the grenade, though. Ow. Oh, that's an AP damage to him, too. Shit. I need you to repair our bot here. We're gonna need him to wake up eventually. Max? Fireball this guy? Damn it! Missed. Oh, that's really bad. Alright, I need to strip armor on these guys. That'll work. And then you can throw a lightning bolt on these guys. Just hit those two, but that'll work. It's getting a little grim. I will admit, this is not the ideal situation here. Oh god, he's almost down! There we go! Alright. That guy's down. I am really happy about that, because that means nobody's behind us, and I appreciate that. Alright. Damn it! Oh, they're going straight for him with a vengeance. Holy shit. Thank you for the grenade, though. Ha! Oh, I love it so much. Oh, he's got 4 turns until his repair comes up. Shit. I think he's gonna have to go over there and repair him manually. Well, let's do that. You run over there and use a repair kit. There we go. Let's keep him in this game. Let's see, Max. Let's lightning bolt these guys. Beautiful. Let's get better aim on everybody. There we go. And then let's fireball the grenadier here. Which bounces to everybody. I'll take that. Let's see. Alright, she's next. Alright, that guy's down. Good, good. Start working on the big guy here now. Duncan's gonna have to reload. Gonna take one of his AP. Apparently that's my sense of humor, because I find that funny as well, relentlessly. Don't you want the nades to keep coming so you can return them to the spider? Kind of, but I don't want him to get any ideas anywhere else. So, I'm just kind of taking down whoever's convenient here. We have to go after this mage too, but let's take down this big spider tank first if we can. Actually, can we beanbag the grenade? Or the mage? It would have been nice, but no. God, they're still going after Koshe. And he's got a repair, of course he does. Alright, can we turn him back on yet? No, we still cannot turn him back on. That's unfortunate. Alright, Max, you're up first. Why don't you fireball this stupid mage? And then he'll help you fireball everybody else, because that's lovely. Let's do the same with lightning if we can. I got two of them. We'll take that. And then lastly... Now, heal spells do not work on robots, unfortunately, so we can't do that. Can we life siphon any of these guys? I think we can. Alright, so now I've set up an auto health drain between me and this combat mage. I'm probably going to kill him this turn anyway, but kind of nice. Alright, Raptor. Let's see. Raptor, you've got the worst aim out of any of us, so let's see what you can do first. Oh, you got one hit there. I'll take that. Oh yeah, it's true. It said immune, but I still got health for it. That's actually super weird, but I like it. I'll take it. All right. That bot is down. I like that. That bot is down. I like that. Oh, so close. He throws a heal on himself. And a weak stun there. But it looks like Koshe is back up. That's a good thing. So let's see. Max, you're going to throw a heal on Duncan. No wound to heal. That's unfortunate. Oops, I did not mean to do that. I didn't realize I still had that selected. I was meant to switch over. There we go. Koshe is back up. Let's go ahead and throw an aim on him. There we go. And then take a pot shot at our mage friend. Koshe from downtown. Alright, that's everybody. That is absolutely everybody here, which I assume means that there's more enemies about to pour in. Oh, so that's not good. Let's get prepared then. Let's do what we can to get prepared. I'm throwing accuracy on Raptor, because why not? There we go. And he doesn't really have anything else to do. Go ahead and reload. Go ahead and get everybody reloaded where we can at least. Alright, I think we're ready. Let's do this. Crate comes barreling into the room, her weapon drawn. The heavy ballistic plates of her uniform make her look more mechanical than organic, an impression magnified by the coldness of her voice. That was quite a feat, taking down those spider drones. She pulls back the slide on her weapon. Don't get your hopes up, though. Your skills won't be enough to save you. We've taken down everything you've thrown at us, Crate. Hell, you know what we went down in the walled city. If we can handle monsters from another dimension, we can certainly handle you. Your performance in the walled city was impressive, I'll give you that. But I've still got you outgunned. She gestures at the barrel of her weapon. You may be good, but you're not invincible. All it takes is one well-placed bullet. Glad to hear you feel that way. I was afraid that you'd surrender before I got the chance to make you pay for what you did to Carter. Who? Oh, right, the collateral damage from the ambush. That was just business. If your friend didn't want to get shot, she shouldn't have gotten in the way. Let's see, you can't win this, Crate. If we fight, you're going to die. Knock yourself up all you want, runner. You won't intimidate me. I kind of just want to attack her. I usually try and talk my way through these things, but she has to die for what she's done. Some people think they can outsmart me. Maybe. Maybe. But I have yet to meet men that can outsmart bullets. If I spend my points on Harvester 2, can I use it for Shadowrun 4? I want Shadowrun 4. I want Shadowrun 4 too, but I don't think I have that power. How are you doing today, Telecomies? Hope you're doing well. Hey, Crate, if I can't frighten you, maybe this will. Bring it. Oh, God. And we're getting surrounded again. Ah, shit. Alright, that's 5 dudes. Bullets, my only weakness. How did you guess? Telecomies, thank you for investing in a Harvester sequel. Can we have some turn-based tactical sections in the Harvester sequel? You have a small squadron of tactical Steves on a grid, running around with shovels and a bad attitude. I think I'd like to see that. Kiss has also redeemed invest in a Harvester sequel. And you can have a bunch of skill trees. You can equip them with different weapons, like rakes or other things you find in the garage. That could be exciting. And you can spec them. You can have a mage Steve. You can have a commander Steve. Medic Steve. None of them are very competent at anything because Steve in general is just very dumb. But you know, you can give them little titles that might help their ego a little bit, if nothing else. I think that'd be nice. Scripted events in your tactical combat where enemies run out of nowhere into the middle of your party. We need more of those. Oh, God. Oh, God, I did play that. That section was really hard. It really was. I know exactly the thing you're talking about, and it was super hard. All right, we've got 2 combat mages. We've got Crate. We've got these shock troopers closing in from behind us. I think I'm most concerned about the shock troopers. Let's go ahead and strip their armor. Let's go ahead and fireball. Beautiful. And let's go ahead and lightning. Lovely. Alright, Isabel. 2 misses, rude. Come on! That was a miss at 94%. Absolutely brutal. Alright, Duncan. Pop this guy out of cover. And then see if we can finish him off. Good. That's both the shock troopers before they got a chance to do anything. I like that a lot. Alright, Rector. Overclock Koshe. It's time. And then hit him with a repair too, because he took a lot of damage there. Koshe, what do you got, buddy? Let's see if we can take one of these mages. Nice, little bit of AP damage. I like that. Oh, almost finished him off. Oh, I forgot about that guy all the way down there. That guy's healing up, because of course he is. Ooh, that's a stun. I don't like that. Alright, Max. Let's strip this guy's armor. Let's hit him with a fireball. God, that does so much damage. And then let's hit these clowns with a lightning bolt. Miss! Damn! Alright, Rector. Can you hit this dude? There we go. Thank you, Rector. And then why don't you throw an aim buff on Koshe? It's gonna need it in a second. Oh, alright. Let's see. Duncan. See if you can beanbag this guy back here. Miss, unfortunate. And Isabel. Put some bullets into this guy if you can. Oh, he is so close to dead. Alright. Alright, finish that guy off. That's beautiful. Put some rounds into this guy next. Not going to be able to hit him much from this distance, but it's a start. Damn it! That is the first grenade we've legitimately been hit with in a while. Alright. Let's see, let's strip armor. There we go. Have you played System Shock Remake? No, I've played the original System Shock. I have not played the remake yet, but you're loving it so far? That's good to hear. And Siamese, welcome in. How are you doing today, Siamese? Hope everything's going well with you. Let's fireball the combat mage. Beautiful. And then we'll chain lightning Crate herself. Miss! Dang it. Alright. Unfortunately, Crate's gonna be a little tough to hit, but we'll do what we can here. Whatever we got, we'll hit her with if we can. Let's see. Reactor. Go ahead and put some bullets downwind. Hit at 25% chance. There we go, twice. I love it. Alright, Duncan, pop her out of cover. Very nice. And that just leaves Koshe, who is in very bad condition. Nice! She's on fire! I like that. Oh god, she's almost finished off Koshe. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit, but I think we've got her on the ropes here. Let's see, Max. Fireball. Oh, we should see if we can pop her out of cover first. Yeah, that'll work. Whew. We made her bleed her own blood, and now we're gonna save. Oh, man. Bad bye. Binging the hell out of Baldur's Gate? Excellent, Siamese. Glad you're enjoying that. Now, what did she drop here? Crate security card. That sounds like a good thing. Alright, where are we headed to now? Your PDA buzzes. The tone is instantly familiar. Kindly Cheng is on the line. Let's see. Van Buren Phillips, thank you for the GG, and I hope you've been enjoying your lurk. How are you doing today? How's your week going? I don't think we even have any room for the dock wagons is the problem. Our inventories are mostly full. Oh, Smashing Pumpkins Live and Stone Temple Pilots opened for them. Holy crap. That is a hell of a cool set there, Siamese. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Oh, what does Kindly Cheng want at a time like this? Oh yeah, we did use a couple of repair kits, that's true. Hello, dear. She swills something the color of overripe plums from a rocks glass. I take it you've secured the Ares facility in Tai Po? You're Surprisingly well informed, Auntie. Our dear friend Jomo has been very good about sending regular progress updates. It's part of his job there, you know? So tell me, what are they doing in there? What's been stored in that warehouse? That's an armory. Ares is prepping to take over the HKPF. Ah, I see. There's a long pause. Kindly looks down into her drink, a contemplative look on her face. Finally, she raises it, takes another sip, then sets it down on a nearby table. I don't like anything about this. Loot crates! I hadn't even thought about that. That's amazing. I know that Chiyu is offered to restore your sin. Make a comm call to Mitsuhama Corporate, and you get your old life back. I have a counter proposal for you. Go ahead, I'm listening. Don't turn the warehouse over to anybody. Burn the fucker to the ground. You do this for me, and you'll be set with the Yellow Lotus for life. Every privilege that you can imagine, every extravagance, however rare or expensive, it'll all be yours for the asking. All for the price of some gasoline and a match. Wait, burn it? Why? Turning that facility over to Mitsuhama won't stop Ares. It'll force their hand, push them into attempting an immediate takeover of the HKPF. The end result is likely to be long and bloody, and Mitsuhama will lose in the end anyway. If Ares macro technology is set on taking over the Hong Kong police force, nothing will stop them. They have the resources to succeed in the end, no matter how desperately Mitsuhama attempts to resist. Why not let him do it? What does it matter if Ares controls the police? Use your head, dear. Under Mitsuhama, the HKPF was content to leave well enough alone when it came to the triads and their territories. They knew which neighborhoods were theirs and which were ours, and they did us the courtesy of keeping their noses out of our business. But if Ares were to take over, when Ares takes over, that could all change. They'll likely make a priority of replacing us with an organization that they've already got in their pocket. 44 Knives, perhaps, or the Red Dragon Syndicate. The Yellow Lotus would not survive such a change. The old woman inspects her glass again, dipping a pinky down to tap at the ball of ice that floats at the center of the drink. It spins away up from her finger. She closed her eyes with a sigh. What about Chiyu? What happens to her? Her eyes snap back open. The placid expression on her face is washed away by a wave of irritation. I was having a moment, dear. You really need to learn when to keep your mouth shut. As for Chiyu, why would I give a fuck? As soon as you burn the warehouse, she'll become irrelevant anyway. She huffs in indignation. Then her face seems to brighten. I'll tell you what. Choose the fate for Senior Inspector Chiyu that you think will make me happy. Surprise me. Nod respectfully. She raises her glass to the screen and her voice goes cold. You've heard my offer, Max, and you know what I'm willing to pay. I pray that you make the right decision, for all of our sakes. Kindly Cheng's image flickers on your PDA screen, then winks out of existence. The call has been terminated. Oh, jeez. I want to burn it down I did kind of want to burn it down anyways. I don't want anybody to have all these weapons. Well, I'm going to save again. Keep some goodies and burn it down. I would like to take some souvenirs. Good shadow puns, chummers. We're doing well. We're doing well. Chiyu struggles to lift herself into a kneeling position as you approach. She looks up at you with red-rimmed, horribly bloodshot eyes. The veins in her temples are still throbbing, and you can see red crescents where her nails have bitten into the palms of her hands. Max, this crate... She's dead. She closed her eyes. Good. That's really good. Now reach in my pocket and grab my PDA. Keep it. I'm afraid there's been a change of plans. Change? What? Girth, think about what you're doing. I want my life back, damn it. And we want this team to survive. I get where you're coming from, Duncan, but you're putting yourself ahead of the rest of us. That shit ain't right. It's true. If me and Duncan get our sins back, we're in a very good position. but the Hong Kong underworld is fucked. The rest of my team is all in a terrible position, and the entire Yellow Lotus is just gonna go. So I understand Duncan wants us to get our sins back, but, like, I'm the team leader. I gotta put the whole team's welfare into perspective here. Is Duncan gonna be happy? No, he's not, but this needs to happen. This has to happen. Telecom used to burn it when you're playing. That's what I want to do. It needs to burn. For the sake of all of Hong Kong, not just us. It needs to burn. Sorry, gun show. It's too dangerous, Tarek. It's too dangerous. Listen to me, Max. This is your only chance at getting out from under Kindly Cheng's thumb. Getting your old life back. Are you really willing to give that up? Oh, I've got 3 options here. I wasn't expecting that. Oh, God. Oh, that's not good. Like, you know me. You know I'm a Boy Scout, chat. You know I want to let her live. If I let her live, she will spend every breath for the rest of her life hunting us. No matter how much it takes, no matter how long it takes. This is a loose end that would absolutely come back for me. I cannot. Like, I really, really do want to spare her, but she will come for me. She will come for me, and she's got the might of Mitsuhama behind her. And that is a huge problem. I can't. I cannot do that. She's an elf, she won't die of old age. It's a problem. This is the problem. I can't. That's too much of a risk. I'm burning this place to the ground with you in it. If you're lucky, smoke will kill you before the fire does. But why would you? Her eyes go wide. She struggles to her feet, but her arms shake like a newborn gazelle's. Kindly Cheng doesn't like loose ends. It's nothing personal. No, I won't let you. Her legs buckle, but she crumples to the ground, her eyes rolling back. It's like she's on the verge of blacking out. Goodbye, Senior Inspector Chiu. Survival comes first. You can only be a Boy Scout if you're alive, Emperor. Choosing violence! Oh god! Billowing clouds of choking smoke fill the sky, stinging your eyes and clogging your nostrils. The fire that you set is doing its work nicely. Flames gout from the warehouse's windows, bathing you in waves of near unbearable heat. Things really going up, huh? Her face glows yellow-orange in the flickering light. Auntie Cheng should be pleased. Yeah, I'm sure that she will. His voice simmers with barely repressed rage. When you see the old bitch, tell her I've tendered my resignation. There any space for us to discuss this? He stares at you incredulously. You just sacrificed the only chance I was ever gonna get to leave a normal life, Garth. Fuck no! There's no room for discussion. I'm done with you. Permanently. If we didn't go back as far as we do, I'd put a bullet in your fucking spine. So, what are we gonna do? You should at least let us take you back to the Benteng so you can get your stuff. I mean, it's all still on board the Kraken. He stares at her for a long moment, then nods. Yeah, alright. He points at you. But he doesn't fucking talk to me on the trip. Your comlink buzzes again. Captain Jomo's face winks onto the screen. Ahoy, my friend! You are finished with the warehouse. That much is plain as day. Jomo can see the flames from where he stands. It is probably best that we get a move on, yeah? We probably don't want to be here when the owners of that warehouse come a-calling. You're probably right. You taking us back to the Benteng? Yes, my friend, and from there directly onto the Kraken. Kindly Cheng has informed me that big changes are afoot within our organization, and that we should prepare ourselves for a lengthy voyage aboard your fine ship. Jomo? The Kraken isn't seaworthy. She's like a sieve with a rudder. Not anymore. Utama's men have been working tirelessly to repair her in your absence. She isn't ready to sail yet, but soon enough, she'll be perfectly capable of crossing the Pacific unaided. Crossing the Pacific? Jomo? Where are we going? Why, to the new home of the Yellow Lotus, my friend. His smile gleams. Come now, we must go. But trust Jomo. All will be made clear in time. Oh, jeez. Hey, Grushin! Actually, no, things went very well, but plans did not go to plan. All fire but no s'mores, so we decided to kill Crate and then also kill the police officers that were helping us. Because screw all of them. And we destroyed all their weapons, because screw them too. Which unfortunately means that Duncan is never going to speak to me again, but I think we did what's best for my team and what's best for Hong Kong. Epilogue. The fire-wreathed warehouse burns at your back. The last of Ares and its legacy. Soon to be nothing but a mound of embers. You return to Jomo and the drunken mistake. The pirate revs his engine and takes to the sea, howling wind blotting out all other sounds. Your mind is a blur, thoughts crashing through it like the mistake crashes through the waves. Senior Inspector Chu is gone, her body left to burn in the warehouse. Your opportunity to flee back to your old life is gone, having died with Chiu. And Duncan is silent, deathly so. His words echo in the back of your mind, their anger leaving little room for reconciliation. The drunken mistake speeds away from the Tai Po harbor, carrying you back towards the Benteng. If there's anything you glean from Kindly Cheng, it's that you and your team have a long sea voyage ahead of you. We should have kept some goodies, though it looked like most of the goodies in there probably weren't very portable. We do get a boat, though. That's exciting. You know that's always the most exciting part of the RPG when you get the airship. The Kraken motors along, cutting through the choppy waves of the South China Sea. The coarse sound of Captain Jomo's voice echoes down from the wheelhouse. He's singing a crude Indonesian sea shanty, and in between verses he barks with laughter. Ah, he seems to be enjoying himself. Let him have his fun. I'm too tired to try and stop him anyway. I believe that we're all in need of a rest, my friend. His gaze flits to the hatch leading down to his machine shop. Thankfully, the clamor of shop work should drown out our captain's musical exuberance. Working in the shop will be risky with the engines up and running, but I welcome the challenge. Anybody else feel like the boat's a little empty these days? Gobbet snorts and shrugs languidly. I hear you, Seattle, but this is how it had to happen. This is the life you chose for yourself. You're good at it, and you like it. Duncan doesn't. What do you expect him to do? Isabel shakes her head, sighing. Don't blame yourself, Max. You're cut out for this life, and he isn't. And the inverse is true. He had a normal life. You never did. What are we going to do, be a clerk in a stuffer shack? Sell tasers at Weapons World? Yeah, I really can't see it. Look to the future, not the past. That's how you progress into a better position in life. So tell me, my friend, what do you intend to do when we arrive in Seattle? Oh god, we are actually going to Seattle. After all the time we're spending in this tub, food, as soon as we get to port. I'm going to hit an orcish restaurant called the Big Rhino. The Big Orcish Drinking Hall? Hell, I've heard about that place even in Hong Kong. Habanero fried chicken, racks of barbecued ribs bigger than their torso. I am so there, Seattle. After that, we should definitely make contact with the Yellow Lotus members in Seattle. Once we've been introduced to them, we can start ensconcing ourselves into the Seattle underworld. That, in turn, will lead to safety. I don't know about either of you, but I got a pretty good feeling about this. What you think, Seattle? You ready to show us the sights of the UCAS and get into a whole set of new troubles? Because if you ask me, I think that we're going to have an interesting life, no matter where we end up. Isabel walks over to the nearby table and grabs a bottle of Jomo's Baijiu off of it. I'll drink to that. To the future, right? Whatever it might be. She pulls the cork out with her teeth and takes a long drink. She tosses it to you when she's done. The friends and family, because they're all we got. The Baiju burns like a slug of old kerosene and engine grease going down, with the faintest aftertaste of copper wiring and old shoe leather. Not the worst liquor that Jomo's got. Not by a long shot. The friends and family, chat. Yeah, we're coming full circle. That's actually kind of nice. That does actually sound really good, Tarek Silver. I could go for that now. The undiscovered country. I think some people might have discovered it at this point. Gobbet laughs, throwing back her head. That's the spirit. No matter what happens when we make landfall, we'll be ready for it. Come hell or high water, we're survivors. Come on, toss that bottle over here. As you settle in for another day on the long trip into Seattle, you feel a sense of calm wash over you. Jomo's rough arias intermingle with the sounds of the wind and the waves, blending into white noise. It's a strangely comforting sound. At the aft end of the room, a wide porthole gives you a view of the open ocean. The sky outside is so brilliant as to be almost blinding. Squinting into the light, you let your eyes close. For now, at least. The horizon seems clear. Seattle feels strange after so much time away. Still feels like home, but it's curiously foreign at the same time. But with Kindly Cheng and your crew on your side, you rapidly make it feel like you never left Hong Kong. Kindly introduces you to Zheng Li Quan, the Seattle mountain master of the Yellow Lotus, and through him you find both work and safety. With your help, the Yellow Lotus rapidly expands its influence into the Pullet Barrens. Business booms in 2058 when Don James the Hammer O'Malley is assassinated, kicking off a gangland war that affords the Yellow Lotus rapid gains in both influence and territory. Through your own skill and Kindly Cheng's trademark ruthlessness, your team steadily carves out a large chunk of the Seattle Metroplex for the Triad. This expansion continues until the Renraku Arcology inexplicably seals itself off from the outside world, trapping its 100,000 residents inside. The UCAS military cordons the structure off, casting a pall over the Metroplex. In response, the Yellow Lotus wisely chooses to slow their expansion, the better to remain off the military's radar. The world turns, seasons change, and life moves on. In the following months, Ares Macro Technology takes over the contract for the HKPF from Mitsuhama. The Tolo Harbor Complex is completed, and the new heavily militarized police force walks the streets of Hong Kong. In Hong Kong, the feud between the Red Dragon Association and the Yellow Lotus erupts into a full-scale gang war in the early 2060s. The Red Dragons prevail in the conflict, and the Hong Kong branch of the Yellow Lotus is completely annihilated. The Triad's traditions live on in the Seattle Metroplex, under the stewardship of Zheng Li Quan and Kindly Cheng. Duncan's fate is forever a mystery to you. If he lives, you never hear from him again. You and your team remain as tightly knit as ever. Together, you look to the future, and to the promise that it still holds. And ladies and gentlemen, that is Shadows of Hong Kong. Oh, is that? I know I've heard the metaphor before. I was never 100% sure what the metaphor was. That makes sense, Crushing. Yeah, when the military clamps down on something in Shadowrun, it is bad news. They have way too much guns. Nobody can really do anything about it. Thank you for the GGs, everyone. We did it. We have done it, and that means we have beaten all of the Harebrained Schemes Shadowrun trilogy. So, what did everyone think of this? I think, I know we had a couple people in here that have played this one before, but for anybody that's played it before, what did you think of my playthrough? For anybody that hasn't played it before, how did you enjoy the extra content? I thought it was really cool, but I'm curious to hear what you folks have to say. Let's see them get caught up. Shadows have been ran. AKA you ducked up your own brother just to save Hong Kong that still got ducked. I mean, like Kindly Cheng said, it was pretty much inevitable, but we slowed them down enough for the Yellow Triad, the Yellow Lotus to get out, at least. So that's something. And we got a good position, so we were in good. You know, most of my team did well there, so that's important there, I think. Yeah, I would love to play a new Harebrained Shadowrun. That would be amazing. Like I said before, for anybody that missed it, they are working on a new game right now called Lamplighters League. It isn't a Shadowrun game, but has similar mechanics. So if you like the gameplay, at least, that might be something to look into. Yeah, screw Crate. We've been waiting to get comeuppance on Crate for a long time, and the fact that she was completely unapologetic about killing Duncan's partner, no, I'm okay mowing her down. 1010 would extrude nudes again. Perchance to stream, welcome in. Yeah, we just finished the DLC, but how are you doing today? How's your week going? Really great to experience the DLC for the first time. Excellent. I hope you enjoyed it, Emperor. Let's see. Hard to call between Dragonfall and the HK base campaign. It's tough. It is really tough, but I know I'm biased here because I just played Hong Kong, so it's fresher in my mind, but I think I might enjoy Hong Kong better. I feel like it had a better build throughout towards the big final showdown. I felt like a lot of the missions were a little bit more solid from a tactical gameplay perspective. The writing was just so good. That was the same for both of them. The writing was so good across both of them, but I don't know. Like, they're both really good. I won't take anything away from them. I'm not sure what the best is between the two of them. It's definitely not Deadman's Switch, which was good, but not nearly as good as the other two. Jivebot was my favorite subplot from all the games. That was freaking hilarious. Although, how could you not love that poor guy that kept losing his entire team over and over and over again? Siamese, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Perchance, I pretty much love anything Shadowrun. Oh, it's so good. I had so much fun with this trilogy. It's amazing. Yeah, it was really sad to see Duncan go, but like, I'm screwing over somebody there either way. Either I'm screwing over Duncan or I'm screwing over the rest of my team, and just, I have to go for the greater good there. If we got our sins back, it was just me and Duncan that benefit, nobody else. And there's other people I gotta think about as team leader. That's important. All hail Jivebot. Oh, that's true too. It is a little bit shorter, so it's a little bit easier to just get through, and you got some variety there as far as your build. Do you have a favorite character build for the games? Van Buren, I'm curious. Warden, thank you for the GG as well. Shame they removed the original DLC version of Dragonfall? Ah, that is unfortunate. I'd never heard about that. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. It's true. And shame on Duncan for being okay with screwing over this whole team. We wouldn't have been able to save our dad if we didn't have this team backing us up. We needed them there. They helped us out. I guess you could say you've done what you could. I did. Oh man, so yeah, that was a blast. I had so much fun with that. And once again, the Shadowlands BBS entries were just hilarious. Hairbrained Schemes has some amazing writers, they seriously do. And I'm gonna play Lamplighters League when it comes out. I'll consider streaming it. Let me know if that's something you'd want me to do once it comes out. But yeah, definitely Lamplighters League is something I got my eyes on. Really has a 90s feel to it. Well, it's a good aesthetic. It is. It's the flavor of cyberpunk I like the best. I really do enjoy it. Heck yes, all right. That's one vote right there. I'll keep that in mind. So it is a little bit earlier than we usually do end, but I think we are going to be ending stream after the credits here. Because, as I always say, I like to have a little bit of a breather after I finish a game, because as with most games, my adrenaline is running super high after the end of the final mission, so, I like to step back a little bit, just sort of decompress, turn the game over in my head, get my feelings straight, remember what I want to remember. Don't know what that is, but if it's by the same people, hell yes, it is. It's by the same people, Hairbrained Schemes, but instead of taking place in the Shadowrun universe, it takes place in sort of an Indiana Jones, like 1930s pulp setting, where you play a bunch of tomb raiding adventurers, I believe is the setting, It's on Steam right now. It does have a Steam landing page. It's not out yet, but feel free to check it out if you're interested. Let's see, Van Buren, I think my favorite build is pistol plus whip combo. Ooh, nice. Oh, disarm is a fun one in this game, most definitely. A toast to Shadowrun and Hong's Kong. I will absolutely drink to that relentlessly. Emperor, as always, thanks for being here. Pleasure having you with us. Hope your meeting goes smoothly, and we will see you around. Anita Jones, no thanks, Shadowrun 4 for me. Hey, if they ever make a Shadowrun, I'll buy it. But in the meantime, I do like their writing. I do like their gameplay, so I'll probably pick it up. AK-97 is the weapon of kings. It'll clear a room from the other side of the room. I appreciate that, most definitely. Oh, man. I was hoping we'd get to the end of the credits by now, but there's a lot of Kickstarter backers here. So, quick reminder of what we're doing tomorrow and Sunday. We are playing the next game on our schedule, so if anybody hasn't seen that yet, it is going to be Lena's Inception, which is an indie take on Link's Awakening with some interesting mechanical twists that I think you folks are going to appreciate. I'm excited to be playing that. I hope I'll see you folks for that as well. Let's see, Van Buren really likes Shadowrun and Battletech from HBS. Would love more of either. I haven't played Battletech yet. I might try to at some point, but like, the reason I got into Shadowrun in the first place is because I'd actually played Shadowrun tabletop before. So I'm an old hand at that universe, and I'm like, oh, I'd love to play a game set in that setting. And it did not disappoint. That was, the whole trilogy was spectacular. So I really enjoyed that. Excuse me. And thank you for the follow as well, Van Buren. I appreciate that. Lena's Inception. We have to go deeper. Boom. Basically. I know the credits loop too, so I'm hoping that I haven't missed the loop point. They don't seem to be in any sort of alphabetical order, which is super weird. So it's hard to tell how far I am through these, unfortunately. Some very creative names in the credits, though. But yeah, I'm super duper looking forward to Lena's Inception. Like I said, I've tested it out. Oh, they got Co-Carnage in there! I didn't expect to actually see any names I'd recognize, but yeah, there's Co-Carnage in the credits right there. Holy crap. Oh, small world, ain't it? Please, sir, may I have some loops? I hope not, but we may have already had some. Oh my god. Screw alphabetical order for document. Oh god. There's so many credits relentlessly. There's so many credits. Oh man. Let me ask you this while I've got you here, chat, while we're waiting for this. Do you folks in chat have a favorite character from the trilogy? Because I really liked the shaman from Dragonfall. I forget what his name is, but we had a punk rock shaman in Dragonfall. And just everything that he said was just cool. I could hang out with him forever. And I really enjoyed chatting with him all the time. He was a good time. Oh, Malkill, you kickstarted it back in the day. Nice, nice. The loops, I remember that meme relentlessly. Oh my god. Let's see, Glory was great, run around and slice everything up. I was never a big fan of the melee in any of these games, although I suppose you could argue I never gave melee much of a chance. I never really used melee characters in any of these games. I'm a big fan of the tactical advantages of crouching down behind cover from a million miles away and plunking away at people. And in fairness, that does seem to have worked out pretty well for me. Yeah, popping enemies out of cover is always nice, especially if you do have snipers, which I always did. Oh man. I must have had a really good build for this game because I kind of cleaned up in that final encounter. Like, they seemed to be really determined to beat the shit out of poor Koshei in that last battle, but he survived. They did not take Koshei down. It took They took a healing shot, a healing kit, and also he self-healed once or twice. But he pulled through. He walked out of that warehouse under his own power. Or rolled, I think. Either way, he's okay. Oh. Mainly I just wanted to see if there was anything after the credits. I really don't think there's gonna be. But, you know me, typically I want to wait till the credits are over before I end things. Usually because I want to get all the developers' names out there, but I'm pretty sure we've done that quite some time ago at this point. I think my favorite in this game... Like, how do I not just say Gobbet? Gobbet, I never really used her very much because I prefer guns as always, but oh my god, she was a hoot. I would enjoy hanging out with Gobbet in real life, although it may kill me. This is the real price you pay for a Kickstarter game. What was it for Mighty Number 9? Wasn't the credits for that game like 15 or 20 minutes long just because of all the Kickstarter names? I want to say I heard something like that. Van Buren, you ran a melee troll with Duncan, Koshi, and Gaichu all spec for melee stun executions. Holy shit! Alright, that sounds hilarious. Just like blitzing in, arms pumping, running up and punching dudes in the face. That sounds like a fun build. I like that. I remember it being like absurdly long. I don't remember exactly how long it was. But I remember hearing that the credits for Mighty Number 9 were just hilariously long. I don't remember what the exact number was. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't think a lot of people played too much of that game, is the thing. This I believe. Anything? Any potential end coming up? The credits here? I mean, for all I know, there could be like 20,000 names in here. We might not even be halfway through. So I think maybe just shy of 4 hours. Holy shit. That's too long. That is too long. I don't care if you... Oh, God, don't. That's a mistake. What's the point of having your name in the credits if literally no one is going to sit through all of them? That's roughly 3.9 too many hours. Oh, God. 70,000 back. Oh, my God. I'm curious if they were in alphabetical order, because if they were, imagine if your last name started with a Z. Poor you, the credits start rolling and you're like, hey, let's go get some burgers. It's gonna be a while. Yeah, hasn't everyone heard of rows? You can have columns. You can have like 4 or 5 columns. Cram them in there. People aren't trying to read all of them. They're just looking for their own name. It's fine. It's fine. Just do that. Oh, God, that's just... There's got to be better ways to do that than that. Even with 70,000 names, there has to have been better ways. Always list your name with an underscore in front of it. Most sorting algorithms will sort it at the very top. That's true, although if you notice in this game, they appear to be in completely randomized order. So, apparently they expected people to try that, or people did try that. Yeah, just ship out a phone book to everybody. Your name's in there somewhere. Have it be like the instruction manual for the game with like 6 pages of instructions. And then like 400 pages just of names. I suppose, yeah, it could be in backer number. I hadn't thought about that perchance. That's true. They might have just put him in backer number, because honestly, that's not a bad way to do it. That's kind of a nice way to do it, because it rewards people that mash that button a little quicker. And I know sometimes on some Kickstarters, I wait until the very end just to hedge my bets. See what the stretch goals are going to be. And they prefer if you don't. You know, they always like the people that are getting right in there day one. All right. So so many. I'm curious, is there anybody in here that hasn't played the Shadowrun trilogy before that is planning on it now that you've seen it? Because I absolutely would recommend these games. So if there is anybody in here that hasn't played these, like, number one, they're very fun. And number two, you can A, play a very different build to get a very different combat experience. And B, you can definitely go a little bit different in the story as well to see some stuff that I haven't seen. Kiss, you're planning on playing it? Awesome. You'll definitely have to let us know how you like it. Groshin, if the game had a physical copy, they could just print a book containing all the backer names. That would be pretty impressive. Lee, honestly, watching you play them made me reconsider how much I hated that combat with the invulnerable enemies. It wasn't the best. It definitely wasn't the best, but like, I don't feel like it was a boat anchor for the entire game. And you're free to disagree with me on this one. But, overall, I think they were good. Like, obviously, the first one, Dead Man's Switch, is the weakest of the trilogy. Very much so. But, I definitely enjoyed it. I did. Church Arc, I've started up once or twice, but never finished. I think I have like 14 hours of playing one of them. That's fair. That's fair. Folks get busy. It happens. Also, as a reminder, I moved from Seattle to Berlin. So, Hong Kong. You've hit 2 out of the 3. You may as well finish the triptych at some point. Let's see. Dingo, welcome in. First one is the only one completed so far. That just means you got the best ones ahead of you, which is exciting, I think. Like, the first one, I did like it, but I think it's, I think they really got the hang of it with the second game. Let's see. Seems like it was a mistake, but a forgivable mistake and not quite as bullshit as I originally thought. I mean, it is bullshit. Don't get me wrong. It is bullshit. But there was a lot of good in that game, too. There is. Let's see. Somebody remade the first game's story in this game. Oh, that's pretty cool. I know Shadowrun Returns Director's Cut, I think it's called. Like, I know there was, I think we did play the version of Returns that you play in the Dragonfall engine. I forget how you go about doing that, but there is a way to do that, and we did do that when we played Returns. So if you have, I think you might have to have Dragonfall for it, but if you have Dragonfall and you want to play Returns, I would do it that way just to get the stronger mechanics and just a more smooth experience overall, I think. At least a vacation, I think that's probably fair. That sounds nice. I really didn't expect the credits to still be going at this point. I'm stalling for time here, but... Let's see, did you play Boston Lockdown? A little bit? Like, I had the unfortunate distinction of having kickstarted that one. And I played a little bit of Boston Lockdown. I didn't play too much because I was thinking, oh, I'd love to play Boston Lockdown on stream at some point. For anyone that isn't getting the joke here, Boston Lockdown was the MMO version of Shadowrun, and it is shut down now. It is unplayable. It is not possible to play Boston Lockdown. So unfortunately, yeah, I didn't get to experience too much of it, and now I never will. Fell off of it quickly. I did not hear any good reviews of that game, so I probably don't, I don't know that I missed too much. Perchance, I missed that one entirely. People tell me I'm better off. Yeah, all of the reviews for that game were pretty nasty. Like, even the people that said they really loved Shadowrun and they were enjoying playing the game is like, but it is very buggy, and sometimes progression doesn't happen because bugs. And I'm like, yeah, that's a little frustrating. I would not enjoy that part. Oh, jeez. Oh, I think we made it to the end. We did. That is it. We have seen all of the backers now. And we can safely hit the back button. Whew. That was really long. That was like 15 minutes long, which is pretty intense. So folks, this is going to be where we wrap it up here, and sadly this is going to be where we wrap up the Shadowrun trilogy as well, but it was amazing. I enjoyed the hell out of it, and I'm glad we got to experience it. And I am super glad that you folks were here for it as well. As always, games are a lot more enjoyable with all of you folks with me, so thank you for hanging out with me through that entire thing. That credits time again. It is. But we are going to be back tomorrow with Lena's Inception, so if you enjoyed hanging out here, if you want to see something you might not have seen before, I'd love to see you all tomorrow. For right now, we are going to wrap things up, but if you've got a minute to spare, I would really appreciate if you stuck around, because we still have to see who all else is online, so if you're not done watching Twitch for the day, maybe I can send you somewhere cool. I would like the opportunity to try. So make sure you hit follow first and foremost. That'll be the easiest way to find me. If you would like to come back tomorrow or at any point, we'd love to have you back. And while I'm looking to see who all is live right now, there's some links in chat you might want to check out if you haven't seen them already, including a link to my YouTube if you want to see any parts of Shadowrun that you might have missed, or if you want to check out any of the other games I've played in the past, including the other 2 games of the trilogy. Feel free to check that out. And we have a link to my Discord if you'd like to chat with me or the rest of the community outside of the stream. We'd love to have you there, so feel free to join us. And where are we going now? Ooh, we have some interesting options today. Let me see, where do we want to go? We have a lot of options. You know, let's take a peek at somebody that actually I just met very recently, who seems like a very neat streamer. I would definitely like to watch more of their stuff, and who is playing a very cool game that I think some of you folks are very much going to appreciate. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would love it if you would join me as we go raid another retro streamer by the name of Captain Badgertail. She is playing Warcraft 3 today, which I think is the second time we've raided somebody playing Warcraft 3 in the last week, which is bizarre, but sometimes you see some synchronicity in the retro community like that. It's weird, but I love it. So why don't you come with me over to Captain Badgertail's stream, hang out for a bit, throw her a follow if you like what she's doing, but hey, if you've got other things to do, I will just say as I always do, have a good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're at in the world. I will see you folks tomorrow for Lena's Inception. Take care of yourselves till then, everybody.